and a $250,000 fine after pleading guilty in the death of another incarcerated man during a 2017 fight at the facility. 47-year-old Michael Phillips, who's a citizen of Jamaica, pleaded guilty to an involuntary manslaughter charge last week. The NBA is opening an investigation into why a playoff contending team decided to sit its star players Friday night. Fox's Matt Napolitano has more.
The NBA Saturday confirming they will look into, quote, the facts and circumstances surrounding the Dallas Mavericks roster decisions and game conduct with respect to a Chicago Bulls-Mavericks game. The Mavs lost to the Bulls Friday 115-112, knocking them out of contention for the Western Conference play-in tournament. But despite being in the playoff hunt, Dallas sat 5 players, including Kyrie Irving and Tim Hardaway Jr., and Luka Doncic only took the court for the Mavericks in the first quarter. Dallas entered the day tied with the Bulls for the 10th best lottery odds and owe the New York Knicks a top 10 protected pick as the final payment for the Kristaps Porzingis trade. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
And I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News.
Hoffaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Do you know that our liver serves over 500 functions for our body? A healthy liver provides a wide range of health benefits. TMC's Center for Liver Health and Transplantation prides itself in providing world-class diagnostic and therapeutic services to patients with liver diseases such as liver cancer, cirrhosis, and viral hepatitis. The TMC Liver Center is known for the high success rate of their liver transplant program, capable of both pediatric and adult, deceased, and living donor liver transplantation. For more information, contact the TMC Referral Office at 988-8627. The Medical City, your partner in health and in sickness.
I like giving people what they want, like my popcorn chicken combo. Get classic, spicy, or a combination of both, because everyone should get what they want any day of the week. My popcorn chicken combo is back, only at Jack in the Box. Limited time only, price and participation may vary.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. It's 6:06 on Monday, April 10. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. Detectives are investigating the death of a child in Tamuning. GPD spokesperson Officer Berlin Savella confirms that police responded to the residence on Thursday afternoon. She says the call was for a child who appeared to be lifeless. The child was 5 months old. The family had just moved into the apartment after being homeless. The mother says she was working 2 jobs and the child's father had been resting after the recent move impacted his health. The mother went to check on the baby after her graveyard shift on her way back to work and noticed his face was already blue. She woke her husband and called 911. He performed CPR while she was on the phone, but it was too late. The family is puzzled over the child's sudden death, and authorities are also confirming if foul play was involved. The investigation is ongoing and an autopsy is pending. And police are searching for 3 individuals involved in a burglary that occurred in Dedido a week and a half ago while the homeowner was out getting married. Adrian Tomaldan and his new bride got home and noticed something wasn't right. This wasn't the first time the home was hit, and Tomaldan had installed home security cameras. The footage showed 4 men pulling up in a dark gray Toyota Highlander and loading it with over $3,000 worth of birds and tools. After calling GPD and finalizing his marriage license with Public Health, Tomaldan spotted the car and followed it. Johnson Naik was arrested in connection with the theft. The 3 others remain on the run. Investigators learned that the birds were traded for meth. Anyone with information is asked to call GPD or Guam Crime Stoppers. We'll have more news after this.
we place through.
There are a few days left until the deadline to sign the lease for federal property at Eagles Field, the planned site for the billion-dollar medical complex. Rear Admiral Benjamin Nicholson says legal teams from the military and the governor are reviewing the lease. AG Doug Moylan declined to sign it last Friday, raising concerns over the lack of legislative overview of lease funding and the prospect of the military taking over the hospital during emergency situations. Should the governor want to extend the deadline, she would have to make that request to the Pentagon. Original landowners have called for the return of their property, but Nicholson says the military does not consider it excess, and if the lease is not signed, the Navy will use the land for other mission-critical requirements. And Max's restaurant in the Micronesia Mall was shut down on March 21 after a customer reported a fried cockroach found in their garlic rice. Health inspectors found multiple violations, such as numerous live and dead roaches found in various locations, causing an imminent health hazard, employees not washing hands in between tasks, and multiple potentially hazardous food not meeting proper hot holding temperatures. The restaurant is now open after passing a follow-up inspection on the 31st. And those are your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with your weather.
Wait. So they sold the birds for meth.
Yeah.
Okay. No. What,
So they say.
What kind of birds were these? What is it, like cockatiels?
Yeah, cockatiels.
Were they African greys or something like
the
that?
ones that you have to bring in from off island.
Or were they fighting birds?
Who are they fighting?
Other fighting birds.
They were drug-carrying pigeons, Ray.
Yes, balloon smugglers.
It's
They're all
those
involved,
little,
man.
Those cute green ones. My cousin had a little tiny bird like this, a little green one, loud.
Yeah.
But he was expensive.
No, I don't think that's the kind of birds that
It was
they
like
were talking about in
thousands
that
of
one.
dollars.
Yes, thousands of dollars, and they traded them for meth. There might be another angle on this story. The do-gooders over at what's the name of the guy's place where they're constantly giving the lady over at the Department of Agriculture a hard time for continuing to allow fighting birds to be sold here on Guam. 10 after. So how loud was the cockfight behind your house last night? Is it and could you tell whether they were the kidnapped birds? Bird napping. It's a thing. It's bird napping. Aren't you glad you got up early for this? All right. Well, let's see if there was any more hay to make on that story a little bit later on. In the meantime, here it comes, the weather for a brand new week. We've got mostly sunny skies in the forecast today. Daytime highs today should be about 87 degrees, east-southeast, 10 to 14 miles. Wasn't it a great day yesterday? I was, goofing off over at Pirates Cove with family and spent some time with some other friends down along Cross Island Road, and just, remarkable how gorgeous a day it was yesterday. Nice breeze running through places to cool things off, and the smell of food was everywhere. Partly cloudy tonight with overnight lows of about 76 degrees. Tomorrow, same thing, mostly sunny with highs near 87 degrees. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, mostly sunny on Wednesday. And you know what that sounds like to me? I'm reading the mostly sunny on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You know what it's actually resonating in my head?
What?
Higher power bills. I've got the feeling like the air conditioner is going to be chugging hard to meet up with these 94-degree heat index days that we're going to be having. 20% chance of rain sunrise this morning. About a minute ago, sunset tonight is going to be at 6:33. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together, brought to you by Bank Pacific, banking on the Pacific for 68 years.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Subway's new Subway Series menu is a collection of greatest hits. But my number 7, the Mexicali, is on a whole nother level with the way avocado meets chicken and pepper jack cheese.
Outlaw! You tell them, Raiden. That's the number 2, the Outlaw Sandwich. They don't know flavor.
It's the greatest cheesesteak hit with juicy steak, pepper jack, and Baja Chipotle sauce. There's a better mean cheese pairing than that. Shanzi, justify my point, please.
Meatball, pepperoni, and mozzarella. That's number 6, the Boss Sandwich, because we're the bosses of flavor. We're done here.
At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Portions of the program here brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
They burned out my birds. okay, I'm going. You don't need, no need to push here. What's going on? Welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. Thrilled to be here with you the Monday after Easter. And just a note, if we were living in Australia, I learned this from my Australian mate, Adrian, and he says, in Australia, we love Easter. We love Easter, mate. I'll tell you why, because it's a 4-day holiday. You get Good Friday off, you get Saturday, you get Easter Sunday, and you've got Easter Monday off. So you get I know. Is
what? Recovery Monday?
In a land down under.
Why are we here today? Can we get Monday off too?
No, we don't get Monday off.
Can we get tomorrow off?
No. I think
Can we get Golden Week off?
I think we have the whole week here that we're going to have to. What's the thing? Where's the gizmo? Where's
Cinco de Mayo.
No, that's not a holiday.
Oh, come on, man.
It should be a holiday.
Yeah.
But
You
it's
can
not
make it a holiday.
I think it's Memorial Day. I think Memorial Day is our next one, right?
You are correct.
And thank you very much.
When is that?
It's the end of May. It's like forever.
End of May.
It's a long way.
May 29,
There's a long drought here between now and then. But we'll try to make every moment count. Hey, welcome, as I said, welcome to the program. Ray Gibson here until 10 o'clock this morning. Not going to be alone. I've got Donna D is going to be helping us out with news and weather. No, I'll do the weather, but she's going to take care of the news. And by an amazing stroke, there is actually a lot of interesting news to talk about here today. We got the bird napping thing that we've got going on. I guess the boys.
You care more about the bird napping when the guy got robbed while he was out getting married.
Never get married.
I stand by that.
Is there not the lesson there that need to be said?
Don't get married. You could have been protecting your birds.
You should
have been married at home, man. What's wrong?
Yes, get married. Never leave the house.
Venue.
We've got the second millennials out there all over the place.
Anywhere.
Never leave. They'll always leave a light on. I've got the lights on at the house. I've got the TV going. So it sounds like I'm at the place. You remember all those tricks that Macaulay Culkin did in that movie Home Alone?
The booby traps.
The same things. Not booby traps.
Yeah.
Goonie traps.
Can I say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I suppose. It's all right. It's still fairly early in the morning. And we're talking really, really fast here. So half of this stuff might be going over people's heads here. I'll slow down. I'll take a breath here as we, as I said, make our way into Monday morning. Hope everybody had a great Easter weekend. I certainly did. With the day off on Friday, got a lot of relaxation in, and motivated now to take care of some of my boy chores, the yard, and laundry and washing dishes around the house. Didn't get to any of that. I did get the laundry in. I did get the laundry in, and
you didn't put it in the dryer.
I did put it in the dryer this time. I managed to get it
all right.
out of the washer and into the dryer here within the same 6 to 12 hour period. So
just a little bit musty, right?
Because they say if you don't,
Just a little.
It'll end up smelling like the book room at a school. Anyway, so I got that taken care of. If you pass by the place, it looks like hell because I thought I was going to get some lawnmower in time in, and then that was Friday. It was raining on Friday, right?
Yeah.
And that was the day mentally I'd set
excuses.
aside to be able to take care of doing the yard. And since it rained that day, I thought, well, that's it. It's going to have to wait until something else.
It's going to have to suffer.
Fairly busy Saturday, fairly busy Sunday. Yet with with everything going on for Easter Day and all the incredible food. I don't know. Did you eat twice your fill yesterday?
I ate 3 times my fill.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good job. So you just kind of roll yourself into the radio station. Donna, what about you? Did you get to eat everything that you wanted?
Yes.
I had Ichiban yesterday.
Oh. Nice.
That's
Well,
it.
it could be a win. Was there an egg in there?
Ichibang and then,
Was there
and
an
then
egg?
sleeping.
No, there was no egg. It was just the
Wow.
cheap one.
You're hurting, huh?
618.
Say you're broke without saying you're broke.
Yeah, just the Ichibang. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I got to put half the seasoning because I got to save it for the next one here. I got to do all of that. Anyway, 18 after the hour of the Ray Gibson Show. Lots and lots to talk about in the table of contents. Get around to doing that before too much longer, but I do want to just one other thing. Is there anybody within the sound of our voice here that was able to score Joe Coy tickets? Was that Friday night they went on sale? It was Thursday. Okay, Thursday night they went on sale.
Minutes.
And I clicked on the thing, and I thought it was going to take me to a page where it'd be, say, hey, thanks very much, William. Good to see you. Just please input your credit card numbers, and we'll be more than happy to set aside a couple of tickets for you to go watch Joe Coy on June the 10th and 11th at the UOG Fieldhouse. Nothing like that. It came up with something that I had never seen before. and it was a thing that said, "You're in line. You've made it to the queue." And the number is something like 12,000 million jillion.
You're screwed.
And but wait, somebody's credit card transaction might not go through, so we'll go ahead and skip you through the line and on the deal. So I know that there were a couple of people that I think Dona Mila was in line for a while. I think Rico was in line for a while as well. But I don't know. I have not seen anything that indicated that they won or that they were able to purchase tickets to go. Yes, the privilege of spending $250 to go watch Joe Coy. So number one, I don't know. And number two, I got a feeling nobody is going to say. I've got a feeling everybody's going that they won. Nobody's going to say.
Because people will be like, I'll buy it for you.
Yes, I'll buy
it from you for 10 times.
Thousands.
Yeah.
I'll give you these birds that I found. If you
a little bit of land, too.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Don't give up your Joe Coy tickets unless it comes with land. In the States, in Texas.
I'm Filipino, man, when Joe Coy gets on stage, man. Just like you said with Pacquiao.
Like Manny Pacquiao.
Facts, you're
Yeah. There's
Filipino.
We're all Joseph. All of us will be Joseph. And if you listen, here's an opportunity in the next because it's 2 months away. It's 2 months away to dig out all of the Joe Coy things that they've got on a Netflixes and watch all of those things and mouth along to the words when Joe Coy gets here. Beat him to the punchline. Beat him to the punchline every time.
Cry. No, that's all I'm doing.
So it's going to be a big deal. We'll see what we can learn now because the question came about. I think you were pushing a copy of that video, right? On social media. He'd actually come out and said, "Hey, Guam." Gotta say it like Guam.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if we can work out a third show.
You're not down, Joe.
Come on.
You're not down.
It can be done. What are they gonna? What are they gonna have a volleyball game there on the 12th that we can't move to do another show with you?
I'll heckle him, man. That's it, man. I'll be outside there.
We'll see what we can find out. I thought I saw unconfirmed reports on social media over the weekend that a third show was in the offing. Now, a little bit of inside baseball. I was approached by a guy that was close to Joe Coy's management.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually exchanged emails. And based on the number that he wanted for a performance here on Guam, what you're seeing for the tickets, tickets, that's about right. That is about right for somebody of Joe Coy's stature. Number one, in the smallest room outside of Hawaii.
Wow,
that's the problem, ladies and gentlemen.
So you were planning to get VIP tickets?
No. I'm telling you, I was working with a guy to bring Joe Coy to Guam.
Oh.
It was like 2 or 3 years ago. I had a really good line on it.
Recently.
No. And was talking with somebody in his management team. Maybe dig out the emails if you want to, but it didn't make any difference when they told me what the performance contract was going to cost.
$1 billion.
Like that, and only yellow M&Ms. It's that kind of the production writer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. These guys,
the green room's got to be pink.
Exactly. But I was looking at that going, that means the tickets are going to be the highest priced tickets for any shows on Guam. I mean, that's even mouth breather. That's even the Section 8 tickets at the field house.
We do billion-dollar hospitals out here, man.
Yep, Come on. Well, it's maybe that's the way it's going to have to work. We're going to, Luke, hold on to the, forget the hospital. We need you to subsidize the next Joe Coy show. If all that works out. Do it for the children. Would you think of the children? Can you imagine these poor kids? They've got to tell the stories of when they were growing up and how they were that close to being able to watch Joe Coy, except the cheap governor wouldn't throw any money into the thing and wouldn't build. And this was the point I was trying to get to before: is we need a larger venue. We need a larger venue. If you go to UOG Fieldhouse right now, there's a sign on the door that tells you how many butts can sit in the chairs in the Fieldhouse on any given day or night. This is floor seating, stadium seating, all of that stuff. And I think it's 4,500. I think it's the max capacity for the UOG Fieldhouse. Once upon a time, we'd seen the numbers up around 5,000, but that was for the 2 Minuto shows here. And then the fire department said, "Oh my God, some people could die here." So they brought the number down to something that is reasonable, and but now we're in a case where the largest room that we have on Guam, population of 150,000, whatever people, will only hold about 4,400 butts in the chairs.
Ew.
Yeah. I mean, you got to go back to the ancient history on Guam of shows. I mean, we thought the field house was going to be pretty big until Quiet Riot came here. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Were you
that,
at
dude.
Quiet Riot? Came to Guam.
4,400 butts.
And there were issues. I don't want to say it was oversold. Somebody's going to have to remind me on exactly what happened. But there is a famous picture floating around of Benny Crawford holding the gates of the UOG Fieldhouse closed by himself, and the ravenous, bloodthirsty crowd of people outside that were holding tickets that wanted to get inside. And for some reason, we had to leave them outside. It wasn't even raining or anything like that. It's just all these people wanted to get in there. But like I said, the mighty Benny Crawford holding back the gates of the University of Guam Fieldhouse. Amazing time. And an amazing show at that. Anyway, 6:25 in the morning. Lots and lots of people online. We'll start with these amazing Joe Coy fans now.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
What would you do for tickets to Joe Coy?
Anything you want.
6620. Make all your dreams come true. Okay, we got Dan Rosal. Looks like he was number one here this morning. Good to see you, Dan. The original Burger King, Rudy Rodolfo. And a reminder now, today begins, because Lent's over now. I mean, you can still get the big fish. You can still get the Impossible Whopper. But I mean, they've got melts now. The melts are back, and look out, old Jackie Melt is back. Go find that over at the Bee Caves today. Bunker Menno saying welcome back. Point Familia, how was your 3-day break? Colin Clark's online saying good morning to no, actually just saying good morning to Donna.
Oh,
that's what it says. It says, good morning, Donna.
Yeah, morning, Donna.
Hi. Yes. Nice. Nice to know that you're what everybody was looking forward to coming back to on a Monday morning. Okay. Anthony Bennett, Lohan Duenas is there. Gemma Bustamante saying good morning to everybody. Have a Mark Cruz, Ed Napati, Rico B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bunny rabbits in that one there. Nice. Mike Grace Blotz saying
Rico.
Hatch for some reason. Eric Chong, Ismail says many milk chocolate bunnies were murdered yesterday. Bunny lives matter. What's that? Joe Cruz, Tap and Rack. Let's John Wick the Monday. Did you watch John Wick over the weekend?
No, the old one.
Donna's like, is it out?
I watched the first one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I missed another opportunity to go spend 3 hours watching John Wick. So maybe a little bit later on. Anna Marie, Valerie S.A. Untalan is there. Hey, look, Brad Wood's on.
Morning, Wood.
Good to see. So Brad and Lucia, and let me see, it was Paige and Jim. I think it was Jim. And then another guy, there was Mike and Pam. We all got together on Saturday night. I should have been doing something else, but I wanted to check out their trivia night over at Carabao.
Oh.
Yeah, so I went out to say, are you going to play, Ray? Because, you're a radio guy. I'll bet you have a lot of trivia in your head. But you know all the answers to all the trivia questions. I might have gotten one right, the entire night. But anyway, so I went out, and I wasn't a part of their team, but I audited the night there from Brad's table. Yeah. And I think he bought me a beer, too. I thought that was really Renee. Gina Marie Tenorio Call says you have to be quiet on Good Friday, Ray. No mowing the lawn. God made sure with the rain. Oh, is that what happened? Lucky me.
Oh, nice.
How about that? Gemma, I was already at the checkout page, then sold out, but let me see. She's referring to an auto dealer giving out tickets today. How about that? Bunker says, I paid $150 for a Joe Coy ticket. Whoa. Bunker's not on Guam. Did you?
Yeah,
were you really able to make
it? Yeah, he went out there somewhere.
Yeah, someplace where the tickets is $150 gets you right up front, man. I'll be able to see the little hairs in Joe Coy's nose from where I am. Will Civillo is online. Beautiful Sarita Garin. What will I do for Joe Coy tickets? And she's got the thinking emoji.
Magandang.
Just Sophie's choice. Just think about how you're going to have to explain this to your kids. Vince Delgado is there. Ismail is hanging out as well. A lot of people online here this morning. You're not seeing, but I'm not seeing as many names on the thing. I think Facebook changed something in the last week or so. Not completely unexpected, but I cannot see you unless you comment, unless you actually type something in, be as irreverent if you want to.
Meta.
Yeah. So otherwise, I won't see you unless you type something in and make some kind of a comment. I don't know why they've changed it, and chances are pretty good one of these days they'll change the thing back. Let me see if there's anybody else I need to say good morning to. Oh, yeah, there are MP Ogo, security for the program. On the YouTube side, Gemma Bustamante hanging out over there as well. Let me see. Half unmarried people under 30 in Japan have no interest in having children, according to a recent survey, with economic concerns and the burden of childbirth and parenting as their reasoning for not wanting to have kids in Japan. Well, that's an interesting way to go. We'll find out what the conversion rates and things like that for yen and peso and all of that.
Yeah.
So I hate it when I'm right. Thankfully,
Lies.
it happens infrequently. But, so we were sitting here, Thursday, and I was remarking about how high the price for Tapas crude was. And I said, it's gone up significantly from like $80.50 up to $87 in just a few short days, which indicated to me that there was probably going to be a change in the price of Tapas gasoline that gets put into cars. And sure enough, I mean, it was before noon. It was before noon that I was driving around and saw a gas station sign that said 5.14.9. Just call it 5.15 for a price of a gallon of gas on Guam. And I posted it up on the social media so everybody could see what was going on. Trust me, there was no victory. I take no great pride in having predicted that the price of gasoline was going to go up. But I was sitting.
Gas psychic. He's a gas psychic.
I was sitting and thinking, Jerry's going to ask me at some point, the hell is that? What is that? I think it's a feather from one of those birds that was kidnapped. Anyway, so I know Jerry's going to ask me later on. He's going to say, Ray, if it's $5.15 a gallon and Tapas is trading at $87.02, $87.02. What was Tapas trading for the last time it was $5.15 a gallon? And the answer is $101. So this is the thing, no?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering.
Explain that.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out which side of the equation to put this differential on, where, the government of Guam has got a tax holiday. Well, wait a second. No, that would not make that big of a difference at all. So it's $5.15 now. Tapas on Thursday, was $87.02. Now, the last time we saw gasoline at $5.15 a gallon, it was back in early September of 2022. And at that time, the price of Tapas was $101. So if it's only $87 now, why is it the same price as it was when it was at $101? Are you okay here, Joe?
Yeah, we're not trading oil in U.S. dollars anymore, Ray.
Well, apparently not.
It's all in the Chinese panda.
No, we're using somebody else's dough for that. And I'm not saying somebody's got some splaining to do, but literally somebody's got some splaining to do. So if it's $87 now, we're paying $5.15. Were we getting a massive discount when it was at $101 and we were paying $5.15 a gallon? So at some point, and I was really motivated when I was doing the research on this. So that's why I've got a chart that I can look at, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because, gasoline is over here at $5, and then you've got the price of the oil, which is way up here, and it doesn't even look like it's in the same graph. So I'm not going to bother posting it. I'm just trying to give you something to think about here this morning as we make our way into Monday. 6:33, lots and lots to get to in the table of contents. Might as well get a head start on that now with Donna D. And a quick look at what the big headline stories are. Donna, what happened?
Over 24 hours after a tanker carrying LP gas crashed into a ravine on Route 2 in Umatic Wednesday morning. The vapors reached safe levels, allowing responders to remove the driver. The driver's body was taken to GMH and the truck was removed safely. The driver's name has not been released until police contact his loved ones. And gas went up again on Thursday by 15 cents, just a little over a week since the last price change. Last week, gas went up 15 cents from $4.85 to $5 a gallon. A week before that, gas prices dropped by 10 cents. Gas prices are now $5.15 for a gallon of regular grade fuel. And over 4,000 tickets for popular stand-up comedian Joe Coy sold out within hours of their availability online Thursday night. The performances will be held on Saturday and Sunday night, June 10 and 11 at the UOG Fieldhouse. Joe Coy posted a video on social media looking at the possibility of adding a third show, but no final decisions have been made. And those are your local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
I know some of the people that are going to be making those decisions, and I'm going to be reaching out to them this morning to find out if they've made that decision, those crucial third show for Joe Coy, so that everybody else that might have been locked out on it.
The straggler show. You and I will be there. Looking pouty faced.
Well, I don't know. I think my daughter's got a grad party. You know, you got to put everything in perspective. There's at least one show that I couldn't make anyway because I've already got plans for it. 6:35 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. 888-8255. 888-TALK is the telephone number if you want to get into us via voice. We've got the systems all set up so you'll be able to do that. And Real Joe will answer that phone when you get it. The meme machine is online. I've actually been making this noise all week. It's like it's okay, and then I breathe, and then there's like a strand of mucus or something like that that says, hey, what about me? And you're just going to try to ignore me? I'll just kind of I will coagulate here in
I
a
recommend
place.
cigarettes, Ray.
You
need cigarettes.
As soon as we find a cure for cancer, I'm going to start smoking again because I really liked it. You know, Dunhill lighter, fancy ashtrays. There was and the women with their long cigarettes, and they put them in these little purses, these long little you could put the cigarette in and the lighter in the purse, and you'd never lose it.
Mom,
those were the days. 6:36 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Meme Machine. I'll take a look and see what kind of interesting items have made their way to the Meme Machine here this morning in just a few minutes.
Half a day. This is Clara Manglona from Security Title with an important warning. Wire fraud is real, and home buyers and sellers are one of the biggest targets, even on Guam. When sending money by wire transfer, be sure to confirm the wire instructions by phone, not email. In this case, it's good to be suspicious and know who you're dealing with. Let the professionals at Security Title work with you to minimize loss due to wire fraud. We are here to help.
KFC's $5 breakfast deals are the best and most affordable ways to start your day. The Colonel's Chicken and Rice Bowl, $5. Chicken fried steak, $5. Sausage, biscuit, and gravy, $5. And they all come with a fresh coffee. KFC $5 breakfast deals are served starting at 6 a.m. daily at your favorite KFC restaurant. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Right on, studio time, 6:37 in the morning, and first look at traffic. As I like to do, we'll look and see if we can get a location. Hey, there's whiteout conditions exist. Oh, wait. I'm just goofing off with the website. Want to see where Optimus Prim is. Still over at ThePOINT. Preparations being made now to widen the travel area for Optimus Prim starting today. So expect some delays on Marine Corps Drive and other spots. They're going to be removing some of the medians that we've got on the roadways. And as I've been saying, just take them all out. Just, you know what? We need to be able to go back to a day where, everybody was afraid of making a left-hand turn on Marine Corps Drive because there was always, we always had the opportunity for an accident there. And then they put the medians, and now the accidents only happen up at the intersections. I'm just saying, it's time for us to be fair and balance things out a little bit more. Marine Corps Drive, northbound, up around Dededo and Jigo area, running clear all the way into the primary Dededo area. Not seeing a whole lot by way of traffic. I'm trying to remember, do we have schools today? Is that working?
It's spring break, I think, still. Right?
Still?
Yeah, one more week after.
Who knows?
I don't know, man. I haven't been to school in a long time.
Yeah. And
Tomorrow's school.
tomorrow is school, but not today.
Not today.
Okay, so all right. I think I'm getting a clear understanding. I think I've got something from the Department of Education saying why they're not going to be doing that today. Anyway, intersection of 1 and 3 running fairly clear. Don't see a lot happening at the intersection of 1 and 16. In fact, 16 clear all the way to 8, 10, and 16. When it turns into Route 8, nothing major heading into town. Nothing major on Route 4 into town either. Route 10 over by the schools looking pretty good. Nothing major in front of the downtown Hagutnya area. You might see just a tiny bit of traffic before you get to the cemetery out in Petey, but otherwise regular traffic all the way down to Big Navy in Sumai. 20 away from 7 o'clock in the morning. That's your right now traffic. This is The Point.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHB Health Center and urgent care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareasia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Join us at Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro and see why they've been crowned Guam's best Chamorro food restaurant for 9 consecutive years. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus tinactac, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet burgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagutnya location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. for dinner, or 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for their famous Sunday brunch.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePoint.gu.
Joe Coy coming to Guam. Biden in Ireland this week because everything is okay in the United States of America. Everything is fine. It's just go ahead and go.
Yeah.
We'll take care of the insurrection in
got this,
Tennessee
Joe.
and the tranny boy, being an influencer for Bud Light and now Nike. It's so cute.
Leggings.
You got this
It's
guy.
the leggings.
It's the guy's wearing a sports bra. The guy wears a sports bra, and my boobs are bigger than his. I should be the spokesman for the Nike sports bras. And looking to see what else is triggering old white guys in the United States of America these days. Anyway, so Biden's going to be in Belfast, Northern Ireland, day after tomorrow, our time, to mark 25 years since the Good Friday Peace Accord. Then he'll head south to the Republic of Ireland and address the Dublin Parliament down there. And I wish I could put this picture up on the screen. There's a photo of Biden now in a pride place, they refer to it, next to President Bill Clinton in a place called Fitzpatrick's Pub near Dundalk, Ireland, where Clinton spoke back in 2000. So they're just thrilled they have another Irishman in place. There's a couple other things. On screen, let me get this up here, because otherwise Jeff will say that I'm ignoring him, even though I have very good reason to ignore him today. And I'll explain in a second, but otherwise, sunrise pictures on screen if you're watching on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Yes, gorgeous shots. These are the sunrise shots that you kind of live for and you wake up early to catch. But you know what's missing, Jeff, is the picture of you and I at the buffet yesterday. And I wouldn't normally bring it up because I've got, in my lifetime, I've known Jeff from Pirates Cove all of my adult life. And there's pictures of he and I going back to before he was bearded, before he became a pirate.
Before he was bearded?
Yes. It was
like knighted?
Yes. Anyway, so he takes it. He says, "Hey, let me get a picture of you." And I said, "Okay, great." Another picture of me and Jeff. And then later on, he posts on social media, because he will, all of these people that he's hanging out with over at his backyard, buffet barbecue going on with the,
Everybody wants a Jeff pic.
Yeah, and so I'm scrolling through the pictures, and it's nice, and so. Look, it's him and Mana. Hey, how about that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's him and Mana and me. Oh, this is so great. And then it ends, and I'm going, whoa, hey, time out. Where's the picture of me and Jeff from over at the thing yesterday? Didn't even bother with it. Oh, yeah.
you out.
It's just one of those things. You ever do that with somebody and they look like they're taking a selfie, but they really aren't? It's, oh, hey, how about that? And then you never see it again. That's what I think is going on. Anyway, 6:44 in the morning. And for those of you that weren't able to get Joe Coy tickets, yes, it's in my head. It's a thing. If you weren't able to get the Joe Coy tickets and you're wondering, well, what do I do with my life now? The answer is buy a Tesla. No, I can talk about that. Guys over at Nissan are going, wait a second, did he just say buy a Tesla? I can say that because nobody's selling Teslas here on Guam. You want something that is a better ride than a Tesla? Go and check out, I got to remember the name of it, the Aria. Beautiful electric automobile over at NissanGuam.com of the worldwide. What's it called? Aria. Look, you buy it, you can pronounce it however you want to.
Aria.
Yeah. So anyway,
I had to look it up before I read about it.
The pronouncer?
Yeah.
So
I looked up the commercial on YouTube.
So it's Aria.
She says Aria.
Not Aria.
Because I almost said Aria. I'm like, well, why do they spell it like that? Let me look it up.
Okay. All right, well, I mean, and they've got them here on Guam. I did a test drive on them. They're absolutely fantastic. But if you want to get into a Tesla, how much do you think a Tesla is? It's a Model 3 Tesla. What
65 grand.
50,000. Donna says 50,000. The Model 3, 41,990 for that Tesla.
Yeah,
if you want to get the Model
payments.
S, which is short for still expensive, it's $84,990, 19% cheaper for those of you that are in the market for that kind of thing. But like I said, we don't sell that kind of thing around here. You want NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. I don't care how you pronounce it, but go and check the thing out anyway. The items in the table of contents, and as I said, I've got a fair number of them. And it's Monday, right? We can do frowny. We can do frowny face on Monday.
Yeah, you can be bitter, man.
I'm gonna be. All right. So I forget which newspaper it's in. Donna knows what I'm talking about.
PDN.
Nope. And it was astonishing to me how far into the newspaper you've got to get before you can read the story. And it has to do, and something that Cousin Troy and I were talking about a little bit the other day, and that is the extension of the tax holidays for liquid fuels tax. Right? Because, okay, government of Guam, everybody got 22% pay raise, right? And everybody feeling kind of groovy. You hit the lottery, and they say, oh, no, we got enough money. We can afford this. We can afford the pay raises for the people of Guam, so don't worry about that. So in my mind, using that logic, it occurs to me that they ought to be able to continue the gas tax and fuels break for another 6 months, 7 months or something like that. Yeah. If we've got money for raises, we ought to likewise have money to be able to do something like that with. And then here's the story. It's in today's Guam Daily Post. I'm warning you now. This, if you're in the private sector, this will piss you off like you weren't able to get the Joe Coy tickets. Says here, BBMR, not enough in proposed source to extend GPA bill credits.
What? How dare you?
Wait a second. Not enough in proposed source to extend GPA bill credits. So what other options are there going to be? Now, first of all, I believe we've got the money, and this is nothing but a swipe at Therese Terlai for having the temerity of being the biggest vote getter in the history of the elections at the legislature. I don't know whether that's true, but I'm going to say it just to trigger Adeloop. Not enough in proposed source to extend GPA bill credits. You knew this was coming, right? You knew this was coming? Oh, man, after the pay raises and all of the fun things that we've been doing in the government of Guam, we don't have enough money to be able to support this for all the ratepayers for another 6 or 7, another 5 months. So brace, kids. They're whatever source they were looking at, and I forget where it was exactly, because it's some big black gigantic hole that the government money goes into and comes out of. But they're according to guys over at BBMR, we ain't got enough. The program began in July 2022. Was intended to last 5 months, but a 5-month extension was signed into law in December 2022. We are now in the final month of the program. It expires in April. And Speaker Terlahi and almost Speaker Joe S. San Augustin have put together legislation that would have provided for more months of this. Maybe another $500 credit for each of the ratepayers. Until the guys over at BBMR, noting the current balance of the proposed funding source is only about $15.5 million, and would be insufficient to cover the appropriations in Bill 83-37. The $15 million already factors in appropriations made into other laws passed last term, including unextended gas tax relief measure that we're in the middle of right now that expires, I want to say, sometime in June. BBMR also noted the September 2022 report on special revenue funds, which covers the last month of FY 2022, which reflects a cumulative shortfall of about $6.3 million. This is the wool being poured right over your eyes.
Who's our guy over there?
That's my friend. This is my buddy Les.
Hey, Les.
Les. Now
He'll figure it out,
pass
Ray.
out
He'll
all the
figure it
raises
out.
everybody gets. Chino in the government of Guam. All of a sudden, we're going to be tight with the money. You gave 22%. You know what? And you can say whatever you want to, but it occurs to me that we're going to extend these power bills because of issues related to supply chains and inflation and the cost of a barrel of oil and all of this other crap with the OPEC. And I'll bet you an argument could be made. If you wanted to invest the time into this, maybe Carlo Branchkin or Ginger Cruz could put together a few brain cycles and figure out a way that they might be able to take some of the money that we're not going to spend on $1 billion hospital and front that for another 5 months, until things stabilize a little bit more, until people, a little bit more comfortable about what they're doing and where they're working these days. I mean, it's not that far-fetched of a plan, is it? So ponder as and I guess the deal is don't count your eggs before they hatch. How's that for a post-Easter pun?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was heavy duty.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to use heavy language here this morning, 6:51 and change. I don't know if Ken Leon Guerrero is up. I think he's been having, just revolving garage sales over at his place. Oh, look, it's a picture of me and Jeff from Pirates Cove.
There you are.
Now it's on social
you
media.
You both look kind of, sort of, not really that happy there.
No, we were both very, very happy.
Is that a case in, Ray?
Well, what happened was I got there early.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah. Well, I am the one that shows up
beer?
early at crap.
Yeah.
Exactly. And was delighted to, as soon as I made that first turn into the A-frame, I see where they're keeping the beer here. Okay, gotcha. And the guy says, what do you want to drink? I said, I want to drink a Corona. And he says, well, it's only Buds here. I said, oh, hey, there's Malcolm Joe Shimizu's right there. Yeah, I'll take a Budweiser.
Yeah, not a Bud Light.
Not a Bud Light. We'll take a Budweiser here. And as I'm sitting, I don't know if you recognize the pattern, but that is a big wave shirt that I'm wearing.
Oh, yeah.
To actually make a thing. It's a big wave shirt. Yeah, it comes out of Hawaii, as you might imagine. Anyway, 6:52 and change. So I was thinking about Ken Leon Guerrero this morning because Ken and I, we've had our differences in the past over the years, and among them was the idea that we need to start judging our senators almost immediately. I mean, like from the inauguration.
Ooh.
They need to be held accountable, and it should be okay to criticize them when you feel that there's a requirement to criticize them for, I don't know, doing stupid things on the floor or getting involved in stupid bills that, just, hey, lay off that. Let the crazy guys carry their bills, and you just kind of step back and watch, all right? And my position over the years has been, and I try to be fair in the dispensation of the benefit of the doubt. I always try to be that guy that says, they're still new, or it's still early, and everybody's trying to sort each other out. And the point of all of this is I will preserve my suspension of disbelief and the extension of the benefit of the doubt, usually until 100 days. And the 100-day anniversary for the 37th Guam legislature is day after tomorrow. We are up to day number 98 of the 37th Guam legislature, and I've got to say, you know, as a broadcast pundit, as a commentator on the radio, all I've got to say at this point is thank you so much for the first 98 days. It has been a blast. From Chris Barnett grabbing the microphone before Will Parkinson had an opportunity to do that, right? You know, we got Kane Dwayne that's running around out there, and just all of the fireworks that have shown up, including the self-identification of the Adeloop 6 just a week before last.
Point of order,
Mr. Speaker. Exactly. Excuse me, time's up. Hello, I'm the timekeeper Karen of the legislature here.
Jab.
So far, it's been just great for talk radio, and all I can say is now that 100 days have passed, and you know I can gloves off a little bit more because I'm not trying to be free and fair with the benefit of the doubt. Now I can really start to enjoy what I'm going to be seeing coming out of this legislature. And I tell you what, and an interesting legislative process. On Thursday, did you catch any of the paperwork between the Guam Visitors Bureau and GV? There was a lot of moving parts there, right? And everybody wanted to talk about the report that came out. The Guam Visitors Bureau Business Risk Compliance and Control Committee. Names have been named. And everybody wanted to talk about that, but Amanda Shelton wouldn't let it go because it was not on the agenda. They didn't have a copy of the report until just prior to the meeting. So the question that I have is, okay, when are we going to have an oversight hearing where the contents of this report are going to be out there? If somebody smarter than me would need to put together the math on when they make the announcement and when that next oversight can occur, which hopefully will be sufficient time for the public auditor to make his reports and observations on that particular business risk resort, and folks over at the Attorney General's office, who likewise now I'm told are in the mix. Now, that wasn't the only thing that came up. One of the other things over at the legislature that I thought was interesting was a little bit of a back and forth that took place between Tello Taitagui, who would like everybody who sits on the board to have some kind of financial disclosure, at this time, by statute, they do not. And it looks like, based on this exchange, it's possible that it's something that could be made part of the statute soon.
The whole, not just for Tumon Bay, but for the whole island as a destination. But, you were, Director Chu, since you're put on the spotlight right now, you were elected through membership, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Are you required to provide financials? Your financial?
I have no idea about that.
Attorney McDonald, are the members who are elected to the board, are they required to provide their financials like other board members?
The short answer is no.
Okay, thank you. So would you mind providing your financials?
I believe I'm required to provide a conflict of interest statement.
But not your financials like the other board members?
I believe my financial statements are my personal matter, and it's not open for the public, and it's only relevant to the Department of Revenue and Taxation and myself.
Okay, so then you're sitting on a board that has to deal with in the past, $23 million of tax-paying money. All other board members who sit on boards are required, even the mayors, even us, we're all required to put our financials out there. You're holding $23 million, well, once we get back on track, about $23 million of taxpaying money. Don't you think that the public deserves to know your financials sitting on a board?
I think the public deserves to know whether I have a conflict of interest. I don't think it matters whether or not to the public what I make or what I do.
Nothing to hide then, right?
Right?
Nothing to hide, right?
This has nothing to do with hiding, Senator.
Well,
this has to do with my personal...
It's called transparency and accountability. You're in the government of Guam. GVB might be a nonprofit organization, but it's funded 98% is funded by the government of Guam.
I'm elected by the GVB membership based upon the enabling legislation on how the membership of GVB is formed. So until that's changed, then...
Until it's changed. Well, hopefully we can make the change, and the change will...
Make that change. Make that change. Get the man in the mirror. Okay, so the interesting back and forth here about whether or not somebody ought to be able to disclose. Can we see what happens, when you are year one in your board position versus what happens at the end of all of this stuff? So it's very, very clear whether you are, absconding with GVB money or making some extra dough, which again goes back to the report that we're looking at here. That was the elephant in the room. This is the legislature. It was one of the elephants in the room over at the get-together that they had last Thursday. Will there be another one sometime soon? Will the report be the topic of conversation? And, depending on which side of things you find yourself on, who is going to be held accountable for the decisions that were made regarding the GSEI? Closing in on 7 o'clock in the morning, darn close to it. We got Fox News Live coming up. Donna D is going to be on right after that with a look at all the big news and headlines. Stuff that I haven't even touched on yet, so I want you to be listening for that. Jerry Roberts is coming in. He'll take care of this Monday morning extra point, and after a long weekend like the one that we had, maybe you absolutely need some of that extra point. Well, it's all ahead right here on 93.3 KUSG. I got you. Pika's best. This is The Point.
Tennessee at the forefront of calls for gun control. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News. President Biden is inviting to the White House 3 Tennessee lawmakers rebuked by state Republicans for leading loud protests on the state house floor on the issue of gun control. Fox's Charles Watson is on the ground in Nashville.
We do anticipate more protests on Monday in support of action on gun reform. In fact, on Saturday, we saw one right behind us organized by March for Our Lives that turned out to be pretty peaceful. Parents and students marched to the steps of the Tennessee State Capitol with signs, many chanting things like, "This is what democracy looks like." They expressed their anger about what they say is a lack of action on gun control in the wake of the tragic school shooting here in Nashville, where a gunman savagely killed 6 people, including 3 young children.
The 2 expelled black lawmakers could be sent back in a special election. Attorneys for former President Trump are saying he will be cleared of the charges linked to a payoff to keep an alleged affair quiet during his 2016 presidential run. Trump attorney Jim Trusty says the case is a weak product of a politically driven prosecutor.
We should not have a criminal justice system that starts off with targeting people to find some sort of charge. Because if you do, you end up coming up with threadbare charges like this.
Trusty on ABC's This Week. Gas prices rose significantly over the past 2 weeks. Oil industry analyst Troby Lundberg.
Gasoline prices have jumped 14 cents per gallon in the past 2 weeks to $3.66 for a regular grade. And this comes from the OPEC announcement that several of its member nations will be cutting supply as of May 1.
Cheyenne, Wyoming, with the lowest average price per gallon at $3.11. San Francisco has the highest at $4.90 a gallon. America is listening to Fox News.
Hoffaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
No arrests have been announced in Delaware after a gunman opened fire at a mall last night.
3 people were shot at the Christiana Mall. State police say the shooting happened in the food court about 6:45. Investigators believe a fight broke out between several people, including one of the victims. Now, all 3 gunshot victims with various injuries. 5 other people were hurt, but not from gunfire. It's unknown how many people may have been responsible for the shooting. The mall was searched and evacuated evacuated. Police say that this was not a random shooting.
Fox 29 Philly's Ellen Kaloge. An avalanche in the French Alps killed 4 people today, but France's interior minister says that is a provisional count. A local radio station put the size of the avalanche at more than 3,000 feet long. If you don't already know, it's Easter Sunday. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more on the holiday.
Today is Easter, which commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It's also the end of Holy Week, which includes Palm Sunday, Holy Thursday, and Good Friday. The actual date of the holiday changes depending on the year, occurring on the first Sunday after the first full moon on or after March 21st. Easter is marked by church attendance, but also by Easter egg hunts, candy-filled baskets, and family meals. Rising food costs have made some people rethink their holiday plans, with some respondents to a recent Finance Buzz survey saying they are inviting fewer Easter dinner guests, switching from real eggs to fake ones, and putting less candy in the baskets. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Thousands gathered as Pope Francis held a special Easter Mass in St. Peter's Square.
Supplices ergo te Domine deprecamur, ut ec munera quetivi sacranda de turimus.
Easter celebrated by Christians all around the globe. I'm Joe Giro, Fox News.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
KFC's $5 breakfast deals are the best and most affordable ways to start your day. The Colonel's Chicken and Rice Bowl, $5. Chicken fried steak, $5. Sausage, biscuit, and gravy, $5. And they all come with a fresh coffee. KFC $5 breakfast deals are served starting at 6 a.m. daily at your favorite KFC restaurant. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna De Jesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. Ronat Chutaro appeared remorseful and disappointed when he appeared Thursday before Superior Court Judge Elise Ariarte to be sentenced in the 2020 fatal stabbing of 54-year-old Arthur Wakuk. In court, Chutaro admitted he was responsible for Wakuk's death, but says he doesn't remember anything that happened that day and based his guilt on the evidence presented. Chutaro was shown in video surveillance footage shared with the court carrying out his attack on Wakuk, which initially began after Chutaro hit the victim's car unprovoked. After the attack, he eluded police for 17 days before capture. Chutaro was sentenced to 15 years with credit for time served. He has been in pretrial detention since his arrest the day before Christmas 2020, which means he has about 13 years left. And convicted killer Juan Mendiola will be appealing his conviction before Supreme Court justices this week. He is serving a 25-year prison sentence after being convicted of manslaughter and aggravated assault in the deadly shooting of Peter Rios Jr. Defense argues self-defense, claiming Rios was going to attack Mendiola with a knife. Rios was found shot dead inside a unit at the Taitano Apartments in Mongmong back in May 2020. But the hearing won't be in court. It will be held at the JFK gym. Mendiola's hearing will be done before students as part of the judiciary's 2023 Law Month celebration. Students will also get a chance to ask questions from court officials about the case. The hearing will be held tomorrow morning. More news after this.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challenge San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs.
Ratepayers may have to get ready to pay full power bills starting next month. Speaker Therese Terlahi and Senator Joe San Augustine proposed an extension of the power credit program through Bill 83, but BBMR says there aren't enough general fund excess revenues from last fiscal year to fully fund another 5-month extension. The program began in July 2022 and was intended to last 5 months, but a 5-month extension was signed into law in December 2022. April is now the final month of the program. BBMR noted the current balance of the proposed funding source is only about $15.5 million and would be insufficient to cover the appropriation in Bill 83. The Bureau also stated that the fiscal year 2022 single audit, which would report on excess funds for the year, remains in progress. And a report out of GVB has implicated current and former board members and a former general manager over their involvement with Guam Sports Events, Inc., which organizes the United Guam Marathon, formerly known as the Guam International Marathon. GVB legal counsel Joseph McDonald says the most concerning fact is that United's Sam Shinohara, former GVB board chair Milton Morinaga, and former GVB general manager Carl Pangilinan were evidently not fully forthcoming about their interests in GSEI and were involved in getting GVB to provide hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding for GSEI's events. McDonald adds that although Shinohara was not a GVB director at the time, there is evidence suggesting that he gave United Airlines 1K status to a woman associated with Pangilinan and also gave United Airlines global service status to Pangilinan soon after GSEI received its first sponsorship award in October 2014. The 1K status, usually reserved for the airline's most frequent flyers, includes perks such as early seating and complimentary seating upgrades for travel companions. And those are your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
I get around to it. I was looking at something, and I've been fascinated with this artificial intelligence thing that's floating around. Because it seems to me the artificial intelligence is getting to be smarter than most people's average intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
Just everywhere I look, I was talking to my daughter about this yesterday. She was we were talking, and God, I hope I don't get her in trouble. But I'm like, okay, baby girl, it's like literally a month from graduation. I think tomorrow, day after tomorrow, is a month from her graduation. I said, are they still trying to teach you at school? And she's kind of rolled her eyes and said, yeah. Why are they still trying? We should be done. We should be sitting around trying to figure out what we're wearing, the baccalaureate, what we're going to wear underneath the gown, all of that stuff. I don't know. I need to get my hair done, my nails did, lashes and things like that. I haven't got time. And they're still, we got tested. They're still giving us tests into the fourth quarter, and I got a paper to write. And I said, well, why don't you use the AI to write the paper? And she said, no, apparently the teachers there are onto this, and now they've got this AI chat GPT detection software or something. Yeah. So I'm like, no, boy, I'm trying to. I'm trying to do it the easy way, right? How would Daddy do this? I said, just you tell it to write 10 pages for your 5-page report, but you take all 10 pages of it and then you funnel it down to the 5 pages that you need to turn in. You're still kind of doing the work, you're still kind of doing the research, and it's still kind of not going to be plagiarism, kinda. And about that time, Shelley hits me in the ribs and says, "Stop helping, stop helping. You're gonna get this kid kicked out of school just before graduation, like you almost got kicked out of school just before graduation." Oh, I've got a stellar educational history that from time to time I lie about to low key brag just how many months I was on Justice Under God at Father Duenas. But I'm sorry, I digress. There's other important to talk about here this morning, including what kind of weather we are going to have for the Monday after Easter all week long. So far, weather forecast is for mostly sunny skies. Let's see if I can get the imagery up on the screen so you can see what things look like over at the National Weather Service. And right about Yeah, can you see where we are on the map? Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot in the area that's going to be bringing anything to us. There are some clouds out there, but they appear to be stationary or wanting to move westward, and will eventually make their way through. In the meantime, when that does pass along, we ought to be in shape for not a whole lot of cloud or rain-related activity on the eastern side of things. The radar is back at work over at the National Weather Service, so I've got an opportunity to put that up on the screen, and you can see just some low-level clouds aren't carrying a whole lot other than shade over the island right now. So heat index probably going to make it feel like it's in the 90s, mid-90s this week, partly cloudy in the evenings, and overnight lows cooling things down to about 78 degrees, but most days are going to be 87. Sunrise this morning was at 6:11 in the morning. We're now moving to that time on the calendar where the sunrises are going to be coming in even earlier than they are today, which is going to suck if you like to do early morning activities, because it means that you've got to do those activities with the sun out earlier now than you did 2 weeks ago. Sunset tonight is going to be at 6:33. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together on 93.3. The Point. Be right back.
Half a day. This is Clara Manglona from Security Title with an important warning. Wire fraud is real, and home buyers and sellers are one of the biggest targets, even on Guam. When sending money by wire transfer, be sure to confirm the wire instructions by phone, not email. In this case, it's good to be suspicious and know who you're dealing with. Let the professionals at Security Title work with you to minimize loss due to wire fraud. We are here to help.
In celebration of our 34th anniversary on Guam, BK Melts are now available. Our classic melt features 2 flame-grilled Whopper Junior patties, a quarter-pound, melty American cheese, caramelized onions, and stacker sauce on 2 slices of toasted bread. BK Melts are also available in a spicy and bacony variation made for our super fans. Top off your meal with French fries or onion rings and a refreshing Sprite. Thank you, Guam, for 34 years. BK Tumon Bay, Hagutnya, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. You rule. 7:15 Ray Gibson Show brought to you by the guys over at APL. American President lines a global presence with a local home.
Rediscover talk radio here. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Abruptly left the conversation about AI to talk about my goofing off with my daughter yesterday, and I didn't finish the thought. Now, there's a new story coming out, about among the newest of the big AI fans. People are using this all over the place. There's some people that, have got some serious concerns about it, and there's other people that are embracing it. As an example, the homilies at Easter that you heard yesterday at Mass.
No.
How many of them were not written by Polly in the middle of the night, waiting for the Spirit to touch upon him and give him the perfect routine for a homily? How many of the homilies that have been written with a artificial intelligence? The capabilities are out there. How long do you want it to be? What do you want it to include? Does it need to have scripture? Does it need to have some incredible analogy that Polly can weave in and out, and then come out with something that feels like a spiritual punchline, and then bam, on to the rest of the mass. We're bam now. Bring up the gifts. Let's go.
I did 2.5 hours on Saturday night, Ray. I didn't know. I had no idea.
It's possible that some of that was written by the computer. All right. So the latest one, this comes from the Wall Street Journal, so you know it's true. Writing the fortunes in fortune cookies. It's the next thing. By some estimate, 3 billion fortune cookies are made by factories around the world every year. Nearly all are written by just a small handful of fortune cookie factory owners, their families, or small teams of copywriters. Open Fortune, which supplies fortunes to more than a dozen factories worldwide, says it has started using ChatGPT to come up with new ones. What would you like? As an example, the horoscopes in a newspaper. I'm sure you're sitting around thinking all of the horoscopes in the Guam Daily Post, that's put together by some, crystal holding hippie out there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
It will be AI soon. Here's a fortune written by a machine. You will soon have a delightful encounter with a stranger. who will add a pinch of spice to your life. Ginger spice, Lucia?
Wow.
You will soon have a delightful encounter with a stranger who will add a pinch of spice to your life.
I want rude fortunes, Ray. Like you're going to get hit by a truck.
His name is Jokoy. 718. I got to find that picture that I took the other day of when the price of gas went up at the thing, because I thought it was kind of telling because I'd taken the picture over at where's that place? 76 Circle K.
Was there an inspirational quote in it?
There's always an inspirational quote at 76 Circle K.
Yeah.
There it is here, and here it is today's. I don't think they're using AI yet. I don't think Mike and the guys there are using AI. It says, embrace pain and hardship. It makes you stronger. That on the very same day that the price of gasoline goes up by 15 cents, Jerry Roberts, to $5.14.09. Yes, embrace pain and hardship. It makes you stronger. Walk around more. Walk to work this morning because the price of gas is $5.15 a gallon. Ponder. Like I said, you start to figure out how to use AI in different things around your office. I think you might be surprised by some of the creativity and some of the tools that are starting to come out. We've got one. I told you we've got one now in broadcast. Actually, there might be a couple of firms that are trying to link up artificial intelligence with different ways that we do different kinds of businesses. You can interpret survey information, research information. You can write copy for your clients that are hard to write copy for. You might be able to take a look and see if there's better ways that you might be able to rotate your songs or pick topics for a morning show. I don't know. All of those things are starting to come out. Guaranteed in your business, somebody, take a look at the emails the boss is getting. Somebody in a vendor business that you are close to right now are coming out with different ways that we're going to be using AI to make your jobs easier or make things more efficient for you. On screen right now, sunrise this morning over at the Guam International Airport. Sarita Garin took these beautiful pictures because she was on her way to drop off the little girl. The John F. Kennedy JROTC kids have, if I'm looking at the time here now, the plane might have already left, heading to Denver, Colorado for drill team competition.
Wow, everybody's in Denver.
Everybody is going to Denver. Well, the president's going to be in Ireland, but I don't know. And Joe Coy's, I don't know where he's at right now. But we've got some kids that are going off to Denver. Congratulations to them earning it. I saw them over the weekend, last weekend. They were, I want to say it was fairly early, too, in the morning. And these guys were out there in the parking lot at John F. Kennedy High School going through some of the drills, some of their the things that they practice, the cadence, obviously, and the rifle throwing. Unfortunately, they don't have any bullets in those rifles.
Oh, yeah.
Yet. You graduate. you come back like the Lucky 9 kids did from GCC back in the day. We'll give you bullets, 7:21 in the morning. All right, time to take a quick look at what happened on the markets here today over the weekend. S&P 500 is up by 14 points. They closed at 4,105. Very small market, that one. The NASDAQ picked up 91 points to close at 12,087. I got the Dow Jones Industrial Average up to, they're up to 33,485. Not a big day for them. They only picked up 3 points. FTSE up by 78. The Nikkei picked up 45. Hang Seng up by 56. And the Shanghai Index picked up, 15. Let's see, anybody else we like to look at? Nothing major for the VIX. No changes there. And the DAX is up by 77 points in trade from the weekend. Who did I say the big winner was? It was not the Dow. So one more click over on the side. Okay, the big winner here by percentage was the NASDAQ. So let's see if I can see who on the NASDAQ was doing great. Alphabet Class A and Class C. Those are both Google equities that we've got out there. Micron Technologies, Microsoft Corporation, and CSX Corporation all round out the top five. Bottom five, Airbnb, Applied Materials, Costco, Marvell Technologies, and KLA Corporation. For West Texas crude, $80.70 for a barrel. It's over $80, but thankfully it is not trending in any particular direction. It's still kind of hovering around a fairly narrow range. I've got gold at 2,026. No major changes in that over the last 24 hours, other than to remark that gold, once again, is over $2,000 for an ounce of all of that. If you're headed to Japan, and this is the only number I've got here. Oh, Tapas. Tapas, I was looking at Tapas. Let me see if I can get this up on the screen so you can see what. $86 and I think 8 cents for a barrel of Tapas crude. So down by a little bit, maybe, I don't know, is it $87 and change when I was looking at it last?
Yeah.
Yeah. So down to 86. Again, but it's much higher than 80 where it was like 2 weeks ago. And so that leaves some room for conversation between Jerry Roberts and I as we're trying to sort out how it is.
You sent me a thing the other day.
I sent you a thing.
A graph of things because you've been doing your homework. And the last time.
I knew you'd ask.
Okay, the last time the gas was at $5.15. The last time.
Yes, in September.
Okay, the oil price was over $100.
$101.14 to be exact.
Yeah, so now the oil price is $87 and it went to $5.15.
Right.
So there's an obvious question there.
Uh-huh.
Why is it $5.15 when it's only $87 a barrel when the last time it was $101 a barrel to get to $5.15?
I don't know. Since then, Lou won the election. I couldn't tell.
I got a feeling Joe has the answer to this.
You guys ask a lot of questions.
you
just keep buying gas, all right?
Nosy kids. Just get out there. There's nothing to see here. What's the matter with you?
Nothing to see here. Keep moving.
Yeah. But I mean, there are some of the other numbers that kind of make sense, going back to summertime and fall of last year when we were looking at, and almost have to remind everybody, it was June the 15th or so of last year where we were paying $6.50 for a gallon of gasoline. So and at the time, Tapas was trading, there was, let me see, $130 for a barrel of that. So obviously it has swung from great heights before, and it kind of makes sense there. But you're right, there's some kind of disparity now between where it is at $5.15, $87 today, and $101.14 where it was in September.
There's just a little piece of missing information there, and I think that people that worry about things like this, their fears would be allayed if simply they would come out and give that missing piece of information. Because the math doesn't work out.
Can you imagine it would be $5.30 or so for a gallon of gas? Maybe higher, $5.35, because we've got the holiday on taxes, on liquid fuels taxes and fees. So that number could actually be higher, but the Tapas is still under $90 for a barrel. So somebody's got to explain where that elasticity seems to be coming from.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know.
And you're the person who can ask them to do that.
We'll see what we can find out. There's a couple of guys that I'd spent some time with over the weekend that know a thing or two about gasoline pricing.
Oh.
But they were in total Easter sport mode.
Ah.
Yeah, so I would have gotten an answer, but nobody would be able to understand it, unfortunately. 7:25, Jerry Roberts is in the studio. It's Monday, and about time for the extra point. And maybe when we're done, if we've got enough time, we can talk about, last year it was quiet quitting. Now there's a new concept out there called hush trips. That's ahead on the Ray Gibson Show, but right now, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank, here's Jerry Roberts.
Question: if you had to guess, when it comes to your current role with your employer, would you say that you are underqualified, perfectly qualified, or overqualified? Besides that one, I'll have more questions for you in a few moments that might come attached to an opportunity. And that's next on the Extra Point.
Fly even higher and get to your destination with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. You can earn 40,000 miles with $2,000 worth of spending within the first 3 months. That's 40,000 reasons to get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Certain restrictions apply. To learn more about this offer, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United.
Hafaday, this is Josh here at APL. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
A recent study claims that 1 in 4 workers in America believes they are underqualified for the job they are applying for. Others feel overqualified, and still others feel that their skills are a perfect fit. All that said, this also applies to people who are already employed. You come to work every day, whether that's for your own company or somebody else's. You have a series of tasks that you do. Those tasks require certain skills to perform. So we're back to our question. Considering all of the things that are necessary to perform your job and fulfill your role well, do you feel at this point in time that you are underqualified, perfectly qualified, or that you are overqualified? If you feel somewhat lacking in the ability to do the work asked of you, you ain't alone. In fact, 39% of the survey respondents fear potential employers also deem them underqualified. Let's try this question. How do the people who evaluate the quality of your work see you? Under, over, or perfectly qualified? Do you know, or do you just hope you know? To complete this train of thought, 18% of the survey respondents worry that they are seen as being overqualified for their job. Now, let's work through this. First, jobs and the tasks assigned to them frequently change. One day, you're overqualified and the work is easy as pie. And the next day, requirements change, and you find yourself chasing skills that are now needed to be successful. There is reason to be concerned if your boss sees you as underqualified. However, that may be an open door to training to improve your skills. It could go like this. Ray says, "Hey, boss, do you think I'm up to speed on my job, or are there areas where I can improve?" Don't sweat asking the question, because you're only going to get one of two answers, and both are okay. Here's number one. "Ray, I think you're doing a fine job. Keep it up, boy." Number two. "Well, Ray, now that you've mentioned it, there are some areas where I think you can get better." Because Ray listens to the extra point on a regular basis. He senses the opportunity in the air. To the first reply that he is doing well, he says, "Hey, boss, thanks for the vote of confidence. I'm excited to help the organization in any way that I can. Say, how about we sit down and discuss the possibility of an expanded role for me?" To the second reply that he needs to ramp up his performance, Ray won't frown at this one because he sees the opportunity. "Hey, boss, which areas are you referring to? And when can we schedule some training so that I can get to where you want me to be?" Unquote. Employers love workers who show interest above and beyond their paycheck. If you try hard, you have a positive outlook, and need some help to build skills, you're almost certain to get it. Don't be afraid to ask. Oh, but you're saying, "And Jerry, my problem is not being anywhere close to underqualified. You see, I'm at the other end of the spectrum. I'm overqualified for my job and role." Now, how does all this apply to me? Well, as mentioned, 18% of the survey respondents feared being seen as overqualified. That means about 1 in 5 workers have this issue. I can tell you there are both positives and negatives attached to this, and we will have those for you tomorrow. You'll just have to hold your overqualified horses until then. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show and First Hawaiian Bank, I'm Jerry Roberts.
All right, it's going to take me a while to sort this out, but I'll eventually get to a number where people might be saying this, saying, okay, if gasoline at $5.15 a gallon comes from $87 a barrel Tapis crude, and in September of last year, $5.15 for a gallon of gas, versus $101 for that Tapis crude. Maybe there might be somebody out there thinking, okay, maybe we need to attack the question from this angle. How much was a gallon of gasoline the last time we saw Tapis at $87 a barrel?
Prior to that.
Prior, yes. And I gotta go back in. I gotta go back in time. It is before March of last year for sure, where we were paying $5.99 for a gallon of gasoline. And Tapis was at $132 for a barrel. I'll see if I can come up with those numbers before too much longer. Anyway, so the new deal is called a hush trip. It stems from the world where there's still a whole lot of people that haven't gone back to work yet. You remember COVID-19, and we're going to Zoom, and you remember COVID?
It was in the newspapers. It was on the internet. I remember it. Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't go back to the office, and there's still a whole lot of companies for whom they have not called, the bulk of their employees back to the office. And it's been a while now, and I think the employees have figured out that they are really the ones that are running things now. So they're going on trips. Look, I can do this job that I'm doing. I don't need to be in my kitchen to do this. I don't need to be in my den to do this. I could be in Costa Rica with George Macris and doing this work, and I don't need to tell anybody that I'm leaving.
You can take me with you, Ray.
Exactly. It shouldn't make any difference where I am to the boss as long as the work is still getting done. So they're referring to these now as hush trips. They're just going. Remember last week when the guys over at GVB in the board got mad because Carl Gutierrez went off to the States and didn't give them the, quote, courtesy notice? Same deal. He didn't have to. He can do the job wherever he is.
Oh.
And that's the thinking among these employees is I'm going to take a hush trip, and I will continue to be there for the Zoom meetings. I will turn in my work at the same pace and with the same quality as I'm doing right now. I'm just going to be doing it from the beach.
Keep it down now. Voices carry.
Your thoughts, Mr. Roberts.
Well, that's what this nomad thing is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Nomad workers, right? They work from all over the places like Chiang Mai, Thailand, and other places around the globe.
I knew some Google people that were doing their work literally on the beach in front of the Hyatt.
Okay. And Bali, a lot of people work from there. I mean, everywhere around the globe. People are working. They have a laptop. They can get an internet connection, and, they're there, and they're working. And it doesn't matter. A lot of jobs does not matter where you are geographically.
Is this permanent?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I wonder about the changes.
All depends on the organization. I mean, some organizations are going to be more compliant to things like this, and others are going to say, no, we need you in the office. Sorry.
Elon Musk says, no, we're not firing off rockets unless you're here.
But I see Musk's point. If you're working at that extremely high level and you need that kind of collaboration to come up with the next great idea, yeah, it probably helps to have people in the room. Just
Interesting.
But not every job's like that.
7:34 in the morning. Jerry Roberts and the Extra Point, and then some extra after that. We get time for news and headlines? There it is. Hold on. This being brought to you by the guys over at Burger King. New BK Melts are in. The classic, the bacon, and the spicy. Have an amazing day. You rule. 7:30 News also brought to you by Half a Day Realty. And maybe over the weekend you were at somebody's place. Where I was lurking around was Cross Island Road yesterday, and amazing how many buildings, how many single family dwellings are popping up left and right, and they're all good looking facilities. And the question I have is, how much is that? How much for that little single family dwelling in the window? If you've got questions like that, Half a Day Realty can answer those for you in the email, halfadayrealty@gmail.com. At 7:35 now, news and headlines with Donna D. Donna, what happened?
36-year-old Anthony Concepcion Sablon has been charged with drug possession after court marshals came across Sablon while executing an arrest warrant for a woman at the Half a Day Motel in Tamuning. In plain sight, marshals saw suspected meth, drug paraphernalia, and a .25 caliber pistol. Sablon admitted to police that the gun and drugs were his and said he sold ice as a means of survival. Meanwhile, Senator Joe San Augustine is proposing to authorize GDOE to hire retired facilities and maintenance employees on a temporary basis to ensure that school facilities are properly maintained. He introduced Bill 91 to tackle the lack of facilities and maintenance personnel. GDOE Acting Superintendent Judy Wanpat had voiced her concern multiple times about the lack of facilities and maintenance personnel, leading to a backlog of school repairs and maintenance. And the next heavy haul of power plant components is scheduled for the 22nd with less than 10 transports to go. Motorists can expect lane closures in Upper Tumon from 9 to 3 starting today until the 18th to remove medians in preparation for the upcoming transports. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
It's almost done. What'd they say? About 10 more
less than 10
heavy deals that they've got to be moving back and forth?
Less than 10.
Less than that.
So that must be 8.
Yeah. And I was talking with the driver yesterday. Is a privileged individual. I've got to say, because it's been basically the same guy that's been moving this Caterpillar up and down Marine Corps Drive back and forth, and the number of things they have learned from being able to do this incredible and monumental heavy lift on a regular and consistent basis is. Yeah, well, I don't know that he wants to do any of that stuff. He's already got the truck already has the name on the side of it, so I think he's doing well with the company. Keep up the good work, Adrian. 7:37 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Be right back.
Guam Regional Medical City was awarded Advanced Primary Stroke Center certification from the Joint Commission. What does this mean? It means our neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and a team of the finest neurological doctors to treat stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC, reflecting our commitment to providing safe and quality patient care. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu or to make an appointment, call 671-633-GRMC.
Always can help you. This sign is our home. To live with been our friends and never we have known. Now we're banking on the future. More services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place rules. Viva! Bank Pacific! Viva!
All right, we're gonna try to follow the format of the morning show here and jump right into traffic, even though there's like 18 things that are super distracting to me right now. So let me just zoom out and see if there's anything worth talking about. It doesn't look like there is. This is what it looks like on Guam at 7:38 in the morning. Hardly any traffic at all from Anderson Air Force Base all the way into Dededo. Just a little bit of intersection traffic. Might be a little bit of a delay coming off Route 3 onto Marine Corps Drive, and then right up until you get to the intersection over at the Micronesia Mall, and then it starts running really, really clear. Nothing on Route 16, just intersection traffic all the way to 8, 10, and 16. And frankly, it's busier on the Route 8 side of that. Happy Mart side running clear, Wendy side running clear as well. And then we've got a little bit of traffic, like I said, between there and the entrance to Teedzon, because there might be somebody working today on Teedzon. I don't know. Downtown Agutnia area all the way in on Route 8's looking clear. We don't see anything major on Route 4 in the downtown Agutnia area. I'm looking at a little bit of, it's just intersection traffic over by the cemetery into Agutnia on Route 8. Route 4 into town and out of town is looking pretty clear. Don't see anything major all the way down to Big Navy and Sumai. So if you're on the road, what can I say? Enjoy the ride. Crank it up.
Chili's has just rolled out the best version yet of the 3 for $15 meal deal. Mix and match your choice of beverage and starter with the largest selection of entrees. Enjoy crowd favorite dishes like the honey chipotle chicken crispers with rice, bacon ranch quesadillas, or the juicy Santa Fe burger. There's so many combinations to choose from that you might have to three-peat to try them all. So come on down and make your own 3 for $15 meal deal. At Chili's, more life and great value happen here.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Avalai, Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by the guys over at Security Title. That's Kim and Ron. I was telling you about all the properties that are coming up just all over the place. The whole Cross Island Road area, just crazy how much construction there is going on. And maybe you're thinking, maybe I'm going to get myself some of that. How do I make sure that the title that I'm buying here is legit and for the real? Well, that's where they come into play. It's Security Title. Ron and Kim, nobody better at it. So make sure that they are a part of your real estate transactions.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
741, that's Beyond the Box time. Find them at the Micronesia Mall. And what do they have for you? Well, I mean, if it's something that's going to enhance your digital lifestyle, it's there, and it's there at a great price. We've got new earbuds coming out from the Nothing Phone Company, not to be confused with the Something Phone Company. They really do exist. You want your iPhones? They got 14 Pros. All Systems Pro are available right now. Incredible sound with Bluetooth and then some. And was talking with somebody who absolutely loves their Shocks headphones. phones, those are the ones with the bone in what conduction, induction, or whatever it is, where the sound doesn't come out of little speakers in your ears. It actually vibrates the bones on your head, and that transmits to the inside bones of your ear, and then it gets to your brains, and then you're absolutely loving it. Great way to enjoy, and they tell me the phone calls sound really, really good on those as well. So check out Beyond the Box, Micronesia Mall today. 7:42 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show, 888-825-5888-TALK. I was just trying to get a reminder here on Bill number 7, which was introduced, a long, long time ago by Senator Chris Duenas over at the 37th Guam Legislature. Is Chris on the line right now?
He is. Senator Chris Duenas.
Absolutely pleasure to have you. Happy belated Easter to you and the family. What'd you guys end up doing?
And to you as well. And good morning, Ray Gibson, Real Joe, and Donna D.
Yeah.
We just did the typical family stuff. Went to Mass for sure. And then after that, had a little brunch and then hung out for the rest of the day, just watching the kids have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Great day, beautiful weather for it.
So what's the arrangement with the members of the 37th Guam Legislature with regard to Joe Coy tickets? I mean, are you guys automatically getting yours? A little VIP treatment here? Is there so that the promoters come out to you and say, all right, you and a guest, front row? What's the deal?
I'm going to have to go to the research department for that because I have not gotten any heads up on it, but I would rather have the people of Guam go and enjoy that. I've watched a number of his shows on Netflix, and I don't have plans to attend at this point. But people of Guam go out. It looks like they're going out in droves. I guess they sold out the first 2 and looking at adding another show. Yeah,
that's my understanding. I'm trying to get an accurate timing on this because it seems to me that I'm hearing from some people it sold out in 20 minutes. Some people said both shows sold out in 2 hours. It was just amazing how everybody at the same time was keying in on that website trying to get their tickets, and not a whole lot of people that are fessing up to actually getting tickets to Joe Coy. I think there are going to be a lot of people play that card very close to their chest.
Maybe an investor picked up a few, huh?
Well, there's the other part of that. I don't know if we can call them investors as much. What do they call them? The guys that scalp tickets. Oh, scalpers. That's what they call them. I'm wondering how many. Yeah, because we both know people, Chris, and we'll get into the story here in just a second. We both know people that have got good credit cards and good credit ratings, and as soon as we announce a new PS number, you go to the base and you buy 20 of them and you pay base prices, and then you sell them on Facebook or social media for double, triple what it is that you paid, because some people, they just absolutely got to have it. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's an interesting black market that might be growing up over these Joe Coy tickets. Anyway, 7:45 in the morning, and tomorrow, I believe, is when you are finally going to have your hearing on Bill number 7.
So tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the Guam Congress building, we're inviting all freedom-loving individuals on Guam to come and testify on Bill 737. This is my promise to the people of Guam to never let go of what happened to us during the public health emergency over the last 3 years. And, kind of interesting, Ray, this is falling on the heels of, even though Let's Go Brandon basically said that I think he's trying to end this in May. I think the Congress and maybe even the Senate have already passed the bills to end the public health emergency nationwide. So this is on the heels of that. But basically, for those that haven't followed along, what I tried to do in the last legislature in the 36 to rein in the powers of our governor, to basically get rid of a lot of the draconian measures that were put in place and the constant, reboot of the public health emergency from month to month, when really and continuing of restrictions and things that were really just nonsense after a certain few months. Basically, I kept to my promise to say we will once again try to revive Bill 11, which got as much as 9 votes, fell 1 vote. 5 times I tried to override the veto of the governor, so I've reintroduced the bill, but I've reintroduced it as a new and improved bill. And basically the title is relative to prohibiting the suspension of constitutional rights and to repeal criminal penalties for violations of executive orders. Those things kind of put in place as well. So this bill is a rework, and I think that, those who love their civil rights, those who love their constitutional rights, The first thing this bill does is reaffirm those rights and make sure that we're very clear on what executive orders can and cannot do. Then it addresses the renewal of the public health emergency, basically requiring the legislature to renew that after 30 days. And it also now makes sure that the resolution that we introduced that failed on party lines to terminate the public health emergency last year can be repealed in whole or in part. So no individual at the legislature that's scared of the governor can say that, well, certain programs need to continue. Well, the legislature can say that those programs continue. So it's really comprehensive. It also puts in a strong provision, and I'm hoping to get testimony from the Guam Medical Association, puts in a strong provision to where their equipment and their, basically, I'll just read it real quick. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, it's unlawful for any official of the government of Guam to seize, confiscate, or order to seize or confiscate any resident's lawfully prescribed drugs, pharmaceutical agents, medical devices, and medical supplies that are imported to Guam via the United States Postal Service or any private shipping carrier or agent.
Now, what was the genesis of that? I recall that there were, and it wasn't, the big deals. I think everybody was concentrating on, wait a second, I can't have a party with any more than 5 people, or I got to eat outside or whatever. But there were a couple of cases where there were some personal medical gear that had been confiscated by, I think Customs was the confiscating agency on behalf of the Department of Public Health.
I believe Customs was involved in that, and I also believe that it was the real fear, really, the genesis of basically you have no say came during a medical association gathering.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, I don't know how many phone calls I got from doctors and others after that while I was working on legislation, because I had just come in after that term. Remember, the governor had made that declaration prior to even the emergency being in place. It was months before. So when I came into office, many of them were talking to me and saying, can we make sure, along with your termination, that really we safeguard medical devices, medical equipment coming in, and if the governor or the government, public health, whomever has to, for some extraneous reason, needs to do this practice, at least work with us, because we have patients. Individuals have things that they're bringing in to Guam. There's medical requirements for why we're not bringing this to put it on the shelf and see if we can sell it. A lot of that stuff's already predetermined and ordered on the basis of operating their function, or individuals saying, I pre-ordered this stuff because I need it and it's life-saving to me. So, we just wanted to make sure that that those kind of things that were taking place won't take place. Another thing that
was there. I mean, obviously there were no court battles here that were being fought. But is it possible sometimes you take that large step now to protect the sole vendor that the governor was buying from?
And that's that could be it too. I mean,
I'm capable of that kind of sinister thought. We got one person that has got the equipments and the supplies that are are on our approved list. Anybody else is not on our approved list. If we catch you bringing that stuff in, we'll confiscate.
And that's the point. And that's what I talked to a lot of the doctors about, and some medical clinic administrators were, hey, and even suppliers. Say, hey, if we're not on the good list, look, at least don't compensate our stuff. Our stuff is needed for our purpose, or we're trying to make sure that people have these PPEs and other equipment as well. But yeah, so the bottom line is that you have to show cause. But that's exactly what this whole thing is about. It's loaded with constitutional rights, transparency, protection, and it really isn't over far reaching in terms. It's just basically you have to declare under what purpose you're doing this. Because first of all, if you're going to use it, you have to replenish my supply, and you have to know when that's going to be coming. And the second is why are you taking it? Because if it's to store it somewhere because you're buying from a friend, then that's a problem.
A lot of questions still unanswered from that time, and unfortunately, as time goes by, people just want to put the whole COVID-19 experience behind us. But I've been looking at some imagery, I was going through some pictures because my phone said I need to clear up some space, and sadly, some of the things that I was clearing up was protests in front of the Cathedral Basilica by many members of the faithful here on Guam that wanted just simply to go back in and worship inside the church.
And that is there. That is well placed in this bill. As a matter of fact, in the introduction reading on the intents and findings, it cites a New York case where that governor lost his battle with trying to shut down the churches and the synagogues.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is definitely on point with that. Boy, I remember that, Ray, and I'll tell you, I was a little surprised that the legislators that didn't want to override Bill 11 because, man, I tell you, the companies that were not afraid to parade their trucks as well. I mean, that was a very well attended and, supply companies, many businesses, so many business people and small business people, individuals that own diving companies and different things were just lined up with us. And, they were fed up and they basically wanted something done. So hopefully now that there's no threat over the heads of those individual legislators that before didn't want to override the governor and some new ones, there's no way to say now that, Chris is taking baby formula and he's going to shut down the
You know what's going to happen, though, buddy? You know what's going to happen? We're going to see the same thing that happened on the resolution, the same thing that happened to Bill 11, is you'll get the majority. You'll get a majority. There will be more than 8 that will vote to support this, and it will go to the governor's office. She will veto it, and it will come back. And those same people that we just saw this. Didn't we just see this last week with the hospital vote? Was it the hospital? Yeah, I think it was. Where I can't remember what the measure was, but it's Chris Barnett's bills. The ones where we're going out there and everybody, on one side says, "Oh yeah, we're going to get the land," where the governor has to come and talk to us because we're the next branch of government. And so we had the majority, but it was not veto proof. Governor vetoes it, sends it back down, and it doesn't survive the override.
Yeah, I think that hopefully...
So I think the same thing's going to happen now. You're going to get all these people and say, oh, yeah, that was bad. Oh, they're locking people out of the churches or closing down businesses or taking PPEs from people. Oh, that was a bad thing, and we should never do that again. And it will pass, and it will go to the governor's office. She'll veto it, and then all of a sudden, all of these people that were thumping their chest for transparency and freedom and the Constitution, all of a sudden are going to turn tail and say, oh, yeah, I can't do that. We know who the Adeloop 6 are, and it would not surprise me to see exactly the same kind of shenanigans.
Well, like you were saying, the 100 days is over and it's report card time. So if that happens, at least people of Guam will know, when they're going to vote again, whoever files paperwork, whether or not they lived up to your expectations in terms of protecting their freedoms or not. So we'll let that sit where it will.
Right.
Ray, can I do an I told you so from the pay raise session?
Please.
So I think Ed Burns' accent is fake. I think he's from Texas because he's doing the two-step in the paper today. It's kind of interesting. They didn't have the paperwork, and I knew they convened and didn't have the paperwork, but I knew that prior year 2022 has already been basically fully expended. And I asked it on the record, and everybody just said, "Oh, no." Said, "Can we get it?" "Oh, no." But I knew the money wasn't there because the last week of the last budget session was a fight over how can we hurry up and spend all this unaudited fiscal year surplus from fiscal year 2022. And there's a myriad of appropriations for medical specialists, for, the list is probably at least 5, 6, 7, appropriations long, and all of them for 5, 10, 20, 30 million. And that's why the total is only 15, and that's 15 million unaudited. That's 6 million or almost 7 million in terms of special funds from last year. Byrne basically put it on the record, during the pay raise fiasco, was that's basically already spoken for, because in the audit, the special funds are going to have to be, they're covered by general funds, so you're going to have to take that off the top. So that 15 million is already basically about 7 million. And then that's unaudited. You remember what happened in 2021? The unaudited surplus were somewhere around 90 million. It shrunk to about 48 million. And that's because it took into consideration things like the special funds that were short. There's no money there, Ray. And the reason why I said he did the two-step is in the paper today, he says, "Oh, it's just not good accounting practices, and you're not supposed to be, budgeting that way on an unaudited financial." We just spent $50-some million in current fiscal year, not prior fiscal year surpluses unaudited. So I mean, if it's not good practice to spend money from a prior fiscal year unaudited, my God, how much more of a sin is it to spend money in a current fiscal year when you don't even know what those surpluses are going to be in the end? But
here's the point.
When the bill came out, there was no money for it.
And this is the point, though. It shines light now on just who you got to be to get ahead in this town, and you got to be all in, and you got to be a GovGuam employee. 22% pay raise has gone out for members of the general pay plan in the government of Guam, and it deserve, sure. There's guys that will stand up all day and say, but they really do earn it. They really do deserve this pay raise, and we've got to protect them from having the private sector raid our employees. This comes from the conversation about extending GPA bill credits. And Cousin Troy called it right. Wait a second. These should be no-brainer bills. Wait a second. We've just given out all these pay raises here, and now that it's time to give ratepayers another 5 months of relief, $100 at a time. Now the government, we don't have any money. That money's not there anymore. No, we can't use that. That source is no good. It's all dried up. Now the government of Guam is going to get Moschino on our money off that.
Well, it's not only who you are, but it's when you introduced your bill. You got to be fast, quick on the draw, because remember how much they were trying to not give DOE that money, that they deserve the money that they stole. And so that's why we're in the position we're in. I'm telling you, it's going to be tight the rest of this fiscal year. And I'm waiting for the CRER in April, because that better take into consideration the public laws that exist right now, which was the appropriation of the $21 million for the pay raises, and then the appropriation of $20+ million for the schools. And so that should basically take into consideration that is and we did it in a budget format. So now whatever revenues come in over adopted revenue levels will be minus the revenue that we've increased now.
Right, but so you know the song and dance from BBMR, and Department of Administration is going to come in. It's unaudited, or we got to wait till this comes in, that comes in, and the other. In the meantime, the price of liquid fuels on Guam has gone up. Price of West Texas crude has gone up, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a mechanism for the relief unless the legislature gets involved. I wish I had more time. I wanted to get your thoughts on a story on KUAM talking about how the governor and the Navy's legal teams are meeting on the Eagles Field lease, trying to see if there's something they might be able to budge off the review that came from the Attorney General's office. Maybe if we've got more time, if you're not crazy busy, we might spend some time talking about that.
Good luck. They're going to have to talk about another Eagle, and he's down at the AG's office. So if he's not invited, you got a problem.
Caw. All right, buddy. I'll see you soon. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. KUSG again. Where peak is best. This is The Point.
This is Aisha Hosni is in Taipei.
Vessels, just about half Chinese, half Taiwanese, are locked in a, quote, standoff near the median line in that strait. China is now on its third and final day of military drills. A whopping 70 Chinese aircraft detected on Sunday, half crossing the median line.
China is also simulating strikes against Taiwan. Many lawmakers are pondering how the U.S. can help Taiwan defend itself.
South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says he believes China's latest action is the foundation for future moves.
I think they're setting the stage possibly for a blockade of Taiwan, that the Communist Chinese Party is going to test us dramatically this year and next year before the election.
Graham adds that the U.S. should enter a formal defense agreement with Taiwan, which currently doesn't exist. Democratic Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland said this about defending that country.
Bottom line is that we have to make sure Taiwan has what it needs to defend itself.
Both senators appearing on Fox News Sunday.
Fox's Kevin Uretsky. Two expelled black Democratic lawmakers in Tennessee say they want to be reappointed, then elected back to their seats. The comments by former Reps Justin Jones and Justin Pearson follow their ouster by the Republican-led legislature for a protest on the House floor urging passage of gun control measures in the wake of that deadly school shooting in Nashville. Pearson on NBC's Meet the Press.
What we are seeing is the intentional
additional political dilution of votes of people who are more progressive, of communities that are filled with African Americans and people of color.
State House Republicans say the protests were a violation of State House rules. America is listening to Fox News.
Hoffaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Join us at Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro and see why they've been crowned Guam's best Chamorro food restaurant for 9 consecutive years. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus tinactac, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet burgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's Hoffaday service at their Hagåtña location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. for dinner, or 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for their famous Sunday brunch.
Potential 2024 Republican presidential contender, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, heads to a first-in-the-nation primary state.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will headline the New Hampshire GOP's Amos Tuck fundraising dinner in Manchester Friday. The Republican, who is expected to make a 2024 run for the White House, is yet to make an official announcement, recently visiting 2 other early primary states, including Iowa and Nevada, promoting his record in Florida and his new book. He's also scheduled to make 2 speeches in Ohio this week. GOP Governor of New Hampshire Chris Sununu also considering a run for the Republican nomination. Former President Trump and former South Carolina Governor and U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley, both who have announced runs, also recently visiting the Granite State. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Officials from Saudi Arabia are in Yemen's capital to take part in talks with the Iran-backed Houthi rebels. Officials say it's an effort to find a settlement to Yemen's 9-year conflict. An Omani delegation will also join the talks. NASCAR with its lone dirt race of the season at Bristol Motor Speedway today. Fox's Eric Messersmith with a preview.
Dirt racing was a staple of NASCAR's early years, but it mostly went out of existence before being revived a few years back with this dirt track race at Bristol. Driving on dirt requires a different style, with the so-called slide job pass taking a high degree of skill and often leading to crashes. That's what happened in Bristol last year when a last-ditch pass attempt by Chase Briscoe led to both he and race leader Tyler Reddick spinning out, allowing then third-place driver Kyle Busch to make up a large deficit and take the checkered flag. This is the 8th Cup Series race of the season, and 6 different drivers have claimed victory in the 7 events so far. Coverage tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway starts at 7 Eastern Time on Fox. I'm Eric Messersmith, Fox News.
And I'm Joe Giro, Fox News.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Since 1997, Island Eye Institute has been committed to your family's eye care needs. From its beginnings, Island Eye Institute has recognized the value in incorporating state-of-the-art technology into personalized care and the commitment to excellence. As Guam's complete eye center, our specialists offer their expertise in glaucoma, retina, cornea, LASIK, cataract, and diabetic eye disease. Island Eye accepts Select Care, Net Care, Take Care, and Stay Well. Call us at 637-2020 to schedule your appointment today. We're located on the 2nd floor of the Baltesh Pavilion in Tamuning.
Chili's has just rolled out the best version yet of the 3 for $15 meal deal. Mix and match your choice of beverage and starter with the largest selection of entrees. Enjoy crowd favorite dishes like the honey chipotle chicken crispers with rice, bacon ranch quesadillas, or the juicy Santa Fe burger. There's so many combinations to choose from that you might have to three-peat to try them all. So come on down and make your own 3 for $15 meal deal at Chili's. More life and great value happen here.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, easy, and secure. Visit nambo.com for more information.
Holiday, it's 8:06. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. A recent post-audit investigation was conducted after a trio of GFD firefighters lodged a complaint with the Guam Civil Service Commission regarding recent captain promotions. The decision the CSC made was that the promotions of 33 to the rank of captain in the Guam Fire Department stands. The three GFD firefighters claimed that not only were they qualified, but there were at least 10 that were selected over them that did not meet minimum qualifications required to be eligible for the captain position. Some of the findings include that those selected for captain promotions were found to be qualified and that the DOA recruitment process of application rating and certification was in compliance. And during a GVB oversight hearing on Thursday, Vice President Jerry Perez told senators that arrivals to Guam are still about 60 to 70% down from pre-pandemic levels because of factors that are beyond the Bureau's control, such as the slow easing of Japan and Korea travel restrictions. Perez says Guam is lagging far behind in meeting Korean and Japanese tourists' expectations of using digital cash transactions or cashless payments, as well as Wi-Fi connectivity. Surveyed Korean tourists show that hardly anyone brings cash anymore. A similar survey 2 years ago showed 55% of respondents brought cash to Guam. Perez says they're relying on digitized mobile payments, and so if a vendor or a store is not able to transact business that way, we all lose out. GVB President Carl Gutierrez says the Bureau has taken upon itself to clean up parks and other sites that are not GVB's responsibility so that residents and tourists will have a good experience visiting them. More news after this.
Go green, go hybrid. Go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
GAIN President Lauren Cabrera is urging the public to take responsible ownership of their pets and to think about the legal implications, as well as population concerns and other issues that may arise when feeding stray dogs. A release states Guam law stipulates that if you feed a dog for 3 days, you legally become its owner. However, feeding stray dogs can contribute to the problem of overpopulation by providing them with resources necessary for reproduction. To address this issue, Cabrera stresses the importance of sterilizing them and keeping them contained. GAIN adds that dog overpopulation can lead to losses in tourism revenue, as sickly dogs on the streets can paint a negative image of the island. The GAIN Spay and Neuter Island Pets, or SNP program or clinic, offers low-cost sterilization services. Appointments can be made by visiting snipclinicguam.com. And the UOG Conference on Island Stability will be returning to the Hyatt this Thursday through Saturday to feature island innovations and strategies that will collectively move Guam toward a sustainable future. Conference co-chairs UOG President Thomas Kreis and Governor Lulian Guerrero will present the theme, Rediscover the Depths of Our Island Abundance. One of this year's keynote speakers is Hawaii and New York-based entrepreneur Hank Rogers, who's also known for bringing the game Tetris to a wider audience. The recently released thriller film Tetris on Apple TV Plus portrays Rogers during his quest to secure the rights to the game in the former Soviet Union. Registration is available for participants to join from April 13 to 15. Special rates are available for Guam and Micronesia residents, students, and teachers. Find the link on PDN's website, guampdn.com. And those were your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
All right. Something kind of caught my ear on Fox. They were talking about what's going on in Taiwan right now. And I got this on Twitter this morning. I say that as a disclosure. Number one, I'm on Twitter. And number two, there's also some interesting information and graphics that are coming out of Taiwan as well. I think this might have been part of a big document dump that they've been talking about recently, but it very clearly shows that as of very recently, the island is virtually surrounded by the Chinese. I mean, that's what if you're looking at Facebook Live, YouTube Live, etc., it will show you a number of watercraft here, ships, etc., from the Chinese PLA to the north and south and east of the island. And you go, well, what about the west? Well, the west is where China is. They're surrounded, ladies and gentlemen. And people are saying, well, you take a look at this, and this is kind of what Ukraine looked like just prior to the Russians moving in as they did in the start of that. This one single graphic has got a number of folks that are responding rather aggressively, saying, "All right, well, it sure has to look like we are at a brink here between China and Taiwan, and of course that means." That there might be some play that comes out of and to Guam. One of the newspapers here over the weekend, I think it was Saturday's newspapers, Pacific Air Forces show their might. And maybe that is in response with all of the B-52s, et cetera, that are flying around here. Maybe you caught some of that over the weekend. Maybe that is a response to what's going on with the ships, et cetera, that are now kind of getting a little bit too close for comfort to Taiwan. Just another one of the interesting stories that we've got floating around here in this interesting part of the world. But I wonder if where's the thing from the Homeland Security and Civil Defense that are saying, hey, just FYI, China's surrounded by the Taiwan is surrounded by the Chinese right now. Maybe I don't know. Prep. Find the clips for the shutters.
Oh, yeah.
Set aside some spam and
where did
biscuits
they put those things
just in
again?
case. Mostly sunny in the forecast for today with highs near 87 degrees. Winds out of the southeast up to about 14 miles an hour. Partly cloudy tonight and overnight lows of about 76 degrees. And this looks like it's going to be sticky over the next couple of days. That is mostly sunny skies today and tomorrow and Wednesday, and some partly cloudy skies at night. The stickiness is going to be coming from the unbearable humidity that's going to be on top of us. There are some clouds out there, and that is going to bring some of that to us. That was one of the things that I noticed as I was moving around over the weekend, is just how much parts of my body were sticking to other parts of my body. It would be more fun if there were like two bodies that you could do that with, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe some talcum powder, maybe something like that. Help out. Heat index today, 94 degrees, 20% chance of rain, and sunset tonight at 6:33. There it is, news and weather together on 93.3 The Point. Be right back.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHB Health Center and urgent care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareasia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Always here to help you. This island is our home. Through the years, we've been a friend to the neighbors we have known. Now we're banking on the future. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
This is Raymond Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. Portions brought to you by APL American President Lines. That's a global presence with a local home. Also teaming up with the guys over at Subway. Order your favorite Subway Series sandwich platters on Good2Go, WeDeliver.com, or download their Good2Go app. Enjoy the convenience of having the all-new menu of 12 chef-inspired sandwiches delivered to your doorstep. At Subway, you got a refresh to eat fresh.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
How they were able to do it so fast, considering it's still Easter in the mainland. A recent survey found that Reese's peanut butter eggs are the clear favorite when it comes to getting some goodies for Easter.
Yeah,
it's not the eggs anymore. It's not regular eggs. No, we want peanut butter eggs. That's what we're going for. And the rest of it include Cadbury eggs, jelly beans, and Peeps, all competing for a share of the $3.3 billion that they're expected to spend on candy. I got one piece of candy yesterday.
Diabetes.
Dude. And my gout's already acting up. So no, some friends were leaving a party, and her name is Amanda, and she's beautiful and she's very generous, and she's walking by everybody, and she's got these little tiny like M&Ms, but they're egg shaped, right? And she said, "Do you want one?" I said, "Yeah, pop it in my mouth." And she says, "You know, I've actually been holding these for about 5 minutes. Do they still taste good?" Yeah, baby, they're all right. They're doing okay. Now, one of the other things, who's on the phone, by the way?
Oh, Slash.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
good.
Senator
Okay, but one thing
Tom
real
Fisher.
quick. Tom, I know you're a busy guy here, but I want to get this up on the screen. So we have Samantha's that is a part of the program here this morning. You remember last week we were talking about how expensive eggs were, and maybe you need to come up with an alternative. And across the nation, the alternative is potatoes.
Yeah.
So here's a picture of her kids painting Easter potatoes. This for Easter Sunday, and you can take the look on their faces. Are these not the happiest children you've ever seen in your life?
Luckiest kids alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And apparently, one of the questions was, "Mom, are we poor? we can't afford eggs anymore." And she said, "Well, the guy on the radio said." And I think they threw the radio away on Easter morning. And never listen to that guy again. 8:17 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Absolutely triggered. And an interesting get-together on Thursday over at the legislature. I thought there might be more questions answered. But unfortunately, we weren't allowed to ask any of those questions because it wasn't on the agenda. What wasn't on the agenda? Well, just prior to the meeting, there was a release. And it came through a FOIA from Senator Jesse Anderson on what the nature of the Business Risk Compliance and Control Committee's report was on the Guam Sports Events Incorporated. A very interesting read. As I said, names have been named, and if you've got a copy of the 4-page report, there's a whole lot more after that. I believe it's in the hands now of the OPA and the Attorney General's office to see what their conclusions are going to end up being. But the legislature, as they will, have got their own set of questions, and unfortunately, Senator Tom Fisher wasn't allowed to probe the depths of that report as much as he wanted to on Thursday. Buenas and half a day, Attorney Tom Fisher.
Buenas. How you doing, Ray?
You know what? I'm just great. It was a fantastic weekend. I watched as much of the hearing as I could fathom here on Thursday. I'm sorry, I had to get a copy of the fireworks between George Chu and Senator Tello that was emailed to me over the weekend. But disappointed to find that there was not as much attention paid on this report as I kind of hoped that there would be on Thursday.
Yeah, we really covered ourselves in glory that day. That was just, we call it an oversight hearing. It certainly was anything but an oversight hearing. The one thing everybody wanted to see, we weren't allowed to. GDB came down and, just gave the usual show. This is how much money we have, and this is what we did with it. And
right.
Everybody wanted to ask questions about that report. And the chair, Senator Shelton, she just wouldn't allow it. Absolutely just put her foot down and said, no, that's not on the agenda. Of course, that was the main elephant in the room. Like I said, we covered ourselves in glory.
Well, I think some of that actually started with a point that was made by GVB's legal counselor, Joe B., who said that he wasn't going to be answering questions on it until you kind of probed him and saying, wait a second, are you telling me that we have to subpoena you if we want to get questions answered based on this BRCC report?
That's what it sounded like. He came down and was, this is what I'm going to answer and this is what I'm not. And that's not the way it works. And if we had to subpoena him and make him come down and answer the questions, we would do that. I think we would do that if we had a more aggressive chair. I'm not sure that that's something that she's really wanting to do. The council was basically laying it out. If you want to get the real poop from me, you're going to have to subpoena me. We'll see what the next step is. But, we have these things, we call them oversight hearings, and then somebody comes down for 3 hours and tells us exactly what we can read on their website. And then we congratulate ourselves for, being critical and, observant of the agencies, and we're really not. We are really not. That was a prime example of it. They came down, they gave us some financials that were all, I'm sure, all available on the website. And that's all the chair wanted to talk about, and we tried about 3 ways to Sunday to get that report in. Eventually, we were able to talk a little bit about it, but it was just there's no other word for it. It was just a cover-up.
The interesting turn of phrase, and I think it is a turn of phrase that people used in the original oversight hearing that was canceled at the very last minute.
Sure. Yeah, at last minute, the chair, Senator Shelton, she disappeared. She's off island. Jesse became the chair, and he convened an oversight committee, and then she shows up at the 2 minutes to midnight and cancels the whole thing after we've assembled. I mean, everybody remembers that. And then, so I guess a few days after that, I wrote her a letter reminding her of her duties. And lo and behold, 2 months later, we reconvene, and it just turns out to be a Potemkin village. There was really nothing explored there. No questions were answered.
Everybody needs to go. Candid has got the story, and Candid also has the transcripts of the 4-page synopsis, if you will, of the BRCC report. Worth reading, and there is enough information there for you to be able to draw conclusions. There is a larger, greater document, like I said, that was the original Business Risk Compliance and Control Committee, with significantly more exhibits, data, and emails and that kind of thing. Disclosure, I think, is what lawyers would refer to it as. At any rate, what's very clear from just the 4-page is the naming of names, including Sam Shinohara here, and everybody's innocent until proven guilty. However, former GVB board director Sam Shinohara is implicated in the report. Is Shelton's uncle, a fact that Fisher highlighted in the hearing. Now, I wasn't watching when you did that, but how did you illuminate the fact that there was relation between Amanda Shelton and Sam Shinohara?
I asked Carl Gutierrez. He was sitting there, and I asked him. I said, Governor, are you aware of any senators sitting before you that might be related to somebody named in the report? And he said, in so many words, he said, Amanda Shelton.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it came out. I mean, it's common knowledge, but it does have to be put on the record. And it was put on the record. And she was absolutely unfazed by the whole thing.
You know, you've been the recusal ranger in the 37th Guam legislature. I think there's a title I can give you. So it is your you believe that Amanda should recuse herself from any further conversation, especially where it refers to the BRCC report.
Well, of course. You know, I come out of the my background is a little bit different from most of these folks who've been in the Senate forever. It's an obvious conflict of interest, and any lawyer would recuse himself from an issue like that. It wouldn't even be a question. I guess the culture is a little bit different. The laws aren't, but maybe the culture is a little bit different in the legislature, where we feel that we should give ourselves a pass. You know, that, I don't know, we're special or something. We are able to make those determinations. You know, maybe we are able to make those determinations, but that's not the question. How are the people perceiving it?
Mm-hmm.
When we are sitting as judge and jury on an issue before us, I don't think the people are. I wouldn't be. I don't think people are particularly good with that.
Certainly not. I think there needs to be more information that comes out of this. And in fact, if I was somebody that was named in this report, I would be clamoring for a larger oversight foundation. I would be clamoring for this case to be heard in a court of law. Let me prove my innocence here, based on what you think your findings were on the whole relationship between the board, certain board members, and the Guam sporting events. That's the way I would do this. I don't know to what degree the legislature has any stomach to hear this or see it all the way through. As you said, you know, wrapped up in glory, and that might be as glory, glory, hallelujah as we get on this, unless there's going to be another oversight hearing specifically on this. While you are not, that I know, a ranking member of this committee, Senator Jesse Anderson Lujan is. He's vice chair, is he not?
Yes, he is.
So he could on his own call another oversight.
Well, he's the one who did call the oversight, which Amanda canceled. Amanda Shelton canceled.
No, but my sense is now the cat's out of the bag, elephant in the room, cat out of the bag, however you want to describe it, and it needs to be addressed by certainly the Committee on Hospitality, and if Amanda's not going to do it, Jesse should.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Jesse about that. Just go ahead and convene his own meeting and see what happens there. But we'll see what happens with that, and give everybody notice and stuff. And maybe some of my friends down there at the legislature will be able to get their spines out of escrow, and let's see what we can get done.
I suppose maybe I didn't realize that we were doing escrow on that. I'll call Ron and Kim over at Security Title and find out that's another portion of the business that they do. I'd like to be able to see this happen in the actual oversight, but absent that, fingers crossed that things may be moving a little bit faster in the Attorney General's office and the Public Auditor's place.
Well, I hope so. And just to kind of switch gears here a little bit, I hope everybody's keeping their eye on the Attorney General's office. They've got a big problem over there. Their prosecutors are just at the end of their rope, and I know that personally because I've been talking to them. And, they really need some help over there.
Can you volunteer? Can you be an assistant Attorney General's office or for no pay? Cover a couple of prosecutions?
I would do that. I don't, and I've toyed with the idea of maybe, hooking up with Doug and then going over to talk to the chief about that to see if it is possible. That all the attorneys are essentially on the panel to help indigent defense. Mm-hmm. We can't let the prosecution division collapse. That's for sure.
Well, and, you got smart defense attorneys that are out there, yourself included, that would be able to say something like, "Well, you know what? I'd like to exert my rights to a speedy trial, knowing that the Attorney General's office, the prosecution division, might not be able to live within the countdown on that."
It's happening right now.
Yes,
it's happening right now. I was appointed to represent a young man by the court, and he's got a co-defendant, and the co-defendant has asserted, and that is supposed to start trial, I think, with the same prosecutor. I think 2 days before the Nicholas Moore trial is starting. And I can tell you from personal experience, that is a heck of a burden on a prosecutor, keeping that many balls in the air.
Oh, good Lord. And the Moore trial, and who's his defense guy, Dave Lujan?
Dave Lujan, and I think Mike Phillips is involved in that. And, that's just going to go on forever and ever. And I don't know what Doug's going to do about it, but it's an emergent situation. And, it's not just Doug that's involved. It's a whole island.
You got any new legislation in the works? Well, I got you on the line. What are you thinking about these days?
Well, I'm still thinking about the bills I got going. I want to get those things pushed through. One of the, I think the fentanyl bill that we had a hearing on last week, I think that will ultimately succeed. I think last time I talked to you, we were exploring the idea of having a Marquette meeting on that. And then, of course, we've got this, the other bill, one of the other bills, which we're having a hearing on, which is raising the sentencing limit for using a handgun in the commission of a felony. And the other one is
your vape ban bill.
A vape ban bill, boy, that got some pushback. So we're going to try and work out some compromises that might be able to get that one through.
Wait. You're going to compromise on it? Because it sounded like you were standing on your rock. That was the hill that you were going to die on.
I was going to die on that hill. I know. And then, I know. But then I thought of something Howard Trapp told me years ago.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't let perfect be the enemy of good." So
I love that.
We can't come up with some sort of a compromise on that people can live with. It's going to me, our biggest audience on this is the Department of Education. They are the ones who are dealing with it day in and day out, vape being used. And the second, the most important audience for this one is the children. So we've got to, whatever the compromise is, it's got to keep that stuff out of the lungs of children.
Yeah.
If we can reach a compromise.
You put a lot of pressure on the parents to do what they're supposed to be doing and protecting their kids and looking out for them. And, every once in a while, mom and dad needs to go through the book bag. Every once in a while, mom and dad need to go through the photos folder on their phone to find out if there's any pictures of them with suspicious vape toys that they're not supposed to have on them.
Well, they got to do that. They got to do that more than just every once in a while because, I was a kid once, and so were you. And, I knew where mom's cigarettes were.
I was a perfect child. I never took my mom's cigarettes. No, I'd sneak out my uncle's cigars.
What? So you're sitting out in the back with a big King Edward?
Yeah. Yeah, well, his favorite was the one from the Philippines. His name escapes me right now. Attorney Fisher, always a pleasure talking with you. Always a pleasure talking to Senator Fisher as well. I hope that you were able to convince, very, very soon, Senator Jesse Anderson Lahan to go ahead and make the call as vice chair of the Committee on Hospitality and Tourism, and get some answers to these questions over at the Attorney General's office or over at the legislature.
One of the things I know about Jesse Anderson Lujan is he's not afraid of a fight. So we'll see.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it looks like we've got all of the data that we need that would support asking the questions in a legitimate and open fashion. I don't see any reason why we've got to eclipse it every time it comes up at the legislature. 8:31 in the morning.
That's our job.
Just FYI, something that you can grind your teeth over this morning. The Public Auditor's Office has just issued their audit report, their audit findings on overtime in the Department of Education, and noting that it looks like there's money that was spent on overtime that came out of GovGuam coffers that should have been paid for with ARP funding.
I'm shocked.
Oh my God. He says they've been very open about it and forthcoming with the information, but it looks like another one where maybe some liberties were taken, and I'm not going to say abuse of authority, but certainly patting yourself a little bit too hard on the back, being the guy or girls in charge. We'll talk about that as I get the rest of the show underway. You have a fantastic rest of the day, Tom. Yes, sir.
You too. Thank you very much. Good night.
Bottom of the hour, Ray Gibson Show is Headline News with Donna D. The last big look at news and headlines coming your way in just a second. And then the most important part of the program. Well, wait, hold on. So up until just because she's giving me that Donna look here. You don't see this, but I do. So Donna's giving me this look like, oh my God, celebrity birthdays. Here's the thing. And some of you are going to say, well, what does that have to do in a news and information formatted program? And the answer is, number one, it kind of gives us a break from all the the frowny face and the jaw tightening conversations that we have. Here's the other thing. Guam Daily Post has started putting information on celebrities and their birthdays.
You don't say.
Did you see that over the weekend?
Oh,
There's a thing.
A palate cleanser?
There's a thing. All of a sudden, I'm reading it like, I don't know, is somebody's. I'll take a look. I'll see if I can find it while the spots and the headlines are playing. But what celebrities that they're paying attention to in actual printed news here on Guam. So welcome aboard. It is apparently now a function of news and information in this kind of glossy talk format. Headline news with Donna D. right after these.
Subway's new Subway Series menu is a collection of greatest hits. But my number 7, the Mexicali, is on a whole nother level with the way avocado meets chicken and pepper jack cheese.
Outlaw! You tell them, Raiden. That's the number 2, the Outlaw Sandwich. They don't know flavor.
It's the greatest cheesesteak hit with juicy steak, pepper jack, and Baja Chipotle sauce. There's a better mean cheese pairing than that. Shanzi, justify my point, please.
Meatball, pepperoni, and mozzarella. That's number 6, the Boss Sandwich, because we're the bosses of flavor. We're done here.
At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
Half a day. This is Claire Manglona from Security Title with an important warning. Wire fraud is real, and home buyers and sellers are one of the biggest targets, even on Guam. When sending money by wire transfer, be sure to confirm the wire instructions by phone, not email. In this case, it's good to be suspicious and know who you're dealing with. Let the professionals at Security Title work with you to minimize loss due to wire fraud. We are here to help.
Nice. 8:34 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. On screen right now, a couple of pictures of African grays. They came up earlier. We were concerned that a couple that had gone out to get themselves married came home to find out that their place had been burglarized, that their place had been gone over by the Saki Malanyas, and among the missing were birds missing from this home. Now, my first assumption is...
Stolen for meth. Stolen for meth.
This is true now. They were stolen for meth. What kind of birds were they? Were they fighting birds? Were they the kind of things that guy in the Do-Gooder Association says we shouldn't even be having these things on Guam? There's no such thing. It's been banned. Cockfighting has been banned on Guam. Or were they like good-looking birds, cockatoos or African grays? Now on screen right now is a picture I got from Mana about 5 African gray parrots that were removed from their display in the Lincolnshire Wildlife Park because they were swearing at visitors and then laughing with each other.
I wonder who they learned it
from?
I don't know where my brother Dave was, but my brother Dave, we had at my mom's house an African gray, beautiful African gray. She could be kind of feisty and would happily take a bite out of a finger. And yes, it was painful. It absolutely hurt. But anyway, so Dave, and anybody that knows my brother Dave, or really anybody in our family, knows that there's a pretty good chance that those birds learn some swear words, and they did. Our bird did. And one night, my brother has some friends over, and they'd come over for an evening of some worship. And the bird let loose with every four-letter word or combinations thereof. To all of his friends from the worshiping place. We had to relocate the bird for a short time while they were able to pray without, what was the name of that bird? Was it Beelzebub? I think was Diablo, I think was the bird's name. 8:36 in the morning. Coming up, celebrity birthdays. But first, Donna D with our last big look at news and Monday morning headlines. Hoffa, what happened?
For $100 a year, the nonprofit Marianas Yacht Club may be able to use the port for another 30 years. The port's board of directors, a nearly 1 acre government property in PD. The port's board of directors voted to approve the 30-year lease on Thursday, but Governor Lulian Guerrero still has to execute the actual lease, and the legislature also has to approve it. Legislative approval is required for government property leases over 5 years. And senators held a confirmation hearing on the governor's nomination of Sinahanya Mayor Robert Hoffman to serve on the GVB board of directors. Hoffman said if his nomination is confirmed, he would like to focus on improving services to elderly tourists, like putting priority lanes for senior citizens at the airport and other retailers. Senator Tello Taitagui, a member of the tourism committee, said other mayors should have been considered to also serve on the GVB board. And a public hearing is scheduled on Chris Dueñas' Bill 7. Dueñas introduced the bill at the beginning of the year after the 36th Guam legislature failed to override Governor Lulian Guerrero's veto of Bill 11. Dueñas says Bill 7 is a way to keep his promise to revive Bill 11 to rein in the governor's emergency powers, prohibiting the suspension of constitutional rights and being clear on what executive orders can and cannot do. The public hearing is tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock at the Guam Congress Building. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
All right, 8:38 in the morning. Senator Jesse Anderson Lohan on the line with me, and we'll get a debrief, if you will, on the oversight hearing that took place on Thursday, as well as plans, I suppose, that he could put together for us for another oversight hearing, this time to go over the contents of the BRCC report. All right, celebrity birthdays. Did you just yawn?
Did you
just
How
yawn?
dare you?
I did. Sorry.
She's overqualified, Ray.
I don't know what to do because I've got these are great celebrity birthdays. Maybe because you're so bored with it, I'll bring in Senator Jesse Anderson Lohan.
Okay.
And okay.
Hello. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ray.
I'm sorry to bring you into this fight.
How you doing this morning?
I'm sorry. You're in the middle of a battle over at the legislature. It's probably not fair, but I'm going to bring you into this fight between me and Joe and Donna. Actually, it's me and real Joe, and then there's Donna, who's not enthusiastic about hearing our celebrity birthdays this morning. I know you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's the celebrity celebrating the birthday?
Well, there's more than a couple. There's more than a couple, and I guarantee that you know a lot of words to the movies that this guy has been in. You probably watched all of them, just like me and my big brother Dave. Steven Seagal is 71.
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm just looking at his twin brother right next to me.
Celebrity birthday number one, Steven Seagal, and it would be perfectly all right if you could go and find something on Netflix or Hulu with Steven Seagal in it, including the one that he did with what's her name, the beauty queen.
Under Siege?
Under Siege.
Yeah.
Well, basically all of the movies, he had at least somebody that was eye candy to look at. David Harbour from Stranger Things and Black Widow is 48 years old. Mandy Moore from the television show This Is Us turns 39 years old. We did talk about her on Thursday. The show This Is Us, which I remember watching the first episode, going, "Oh man, this is going to be great." Love the storytelling, love the craft, and then they got all kind of wokey on us, and it was all like, everybody was shaking their fingers at white privilege, and I thought, well, maybe this isn't for me. Haley Joel Osment is 35 years old today. Wait a second, let me put that into context. Little Forrest from Forrest Gump is 35.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I see dead people
That's
all the
right.
time. That little boy is 35 years old now.
35 years old. Wow. Okay.
Amazing, but true. And if you're looking for something to celebrate today, it is Siblings Day. I got mine, and I could not love them more. Safety Pin Day, Hug Your Dog Day. It is also Golfers Day. American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Day. We've got some issues with that here on Guam. And Occupational Health Nursing Week. So, yeah, stay out of trouble. But if you get in trouble and you find yourself in a hospital out there somewhere, it is the week to celebrate them. Okay, Donna, that's it for celebrity birthdays today.
So it's Hug Your Galago Day.
Yes, exactly. That's now over the weekend, Saturday, in the kids post they have historic birthdays. That's how I know it's a big deal for our listeners. Jackie Chan had a birthday on April the 7th. Jackie Chan versus Steven Seagal. How about?
Oh yeah.
How about that? That could work. Although Steven Seagal significantly older than Jackie Chan, and for those of you that are paying attention, Thomas Jefferson would be celebrating a birthday on the 13th. Thomas Jefferson, of course, the framer of the Constitution, inventor of Monticello.
I thought it was the Jeffersons. We're moving on up.
Yeah, we'll find him on a nickel. Anyway, 8:42 in the morning. Okay, Donna, that's it. See you tomorrow, and it'll be fun. And I'm going to come up with some more celebrity birthdays to annoy you with. At any rate, I've got Senator Jesse Anderson Lohan on the line, so it means I get to annoy him for a second. So, your thoughts, Senator, on the get together, the oversight hearing in the Guam Visitors Bureau last Thursday?
Well, Ray, actually, it was supposed to be an oversight hearing on Thursday of the Guam Visitors Bureau. Of course, we had the BRCC report, but the unfortunate thing, I was the one that FOIA'd the report, and I didn't know I was going to get it in time for the oversight. As a matter of fact, I didn't know I was going to get it at all. And because I did request for the BRCC report that was supposedly given to the Office of Public Office of Public Accountability. I didn't know also that it was referred to the General or Attorney General's office. And so when I got that, actually I got it Wednesday. I think Wednesday afternoon. As a matter of fact. And it was, the summary alongside over an inch and a half thick of findings. I stayed up all night pretty much going through it. I needed to go through it again, and I have gone through it extensively over the past weekend, of course. But when we got in on Thursday morning for the oversight, the chair, of course, had said that she had just gotten the report a couple hours prior to the public hearing or the oversight hearing, and wasn't time to review, and nobody else in the committee had a copy of the report. So she had wanted to keep it off until a later date, and she had promised to have an oversight hearing on this particular matter on a later date. So when
is later? Are we there yet, Mom? Are we there?
I don't know I don't know. She didn't mention exactly that later date was going to be. I'm hoping that the report will be made available to all the committee members. I can have our staff. Come over and get a copy of it because I don't have enough paper to be able to make that. And actually I don't have the digital copy of the full report as well. So they're going to have to come by and
I think they know exactly how many copies of the more substantive report are out there in the world, and want to keep that number as close as possible, as small as possible until there is a greater opportunity to conversate about this. But again, Attorney General's office has got their hands on it. The OPA's got their hands on it. It is possible that the OPA could review it and say, all right, we think these findings are substantial enough now for further action being done by the Attorney General's office, and then maybe there's going to be something happening over at the court. But I think by way of furthering some of the interests of the committee, that is to provide for, I think as stated, more of a harmonious relationship between the management and the board at the Guam Visitors Bureau, and other amendments that they're looking for, up to and including being able to ask members of the board, regardless of how they become members of the board, to be able to show their financial status.
Sure. No, absolutely. I mean, I know. I think it's this week sometime that we're going to be having a roundtable, but it's going to entail basically that roundtable will entail the enabling legislation as well as the third version, actually the bylaws, because they're working on their third version of the bylaws as you know as we speak, right? And that's what was revealed to us basically on Thursday, that the third version was being worked on. So that will be the topic of conversation, of course, on the next roundtable. But you know, as I said, I'm hoping that sometime real soon that we'll be in discussion on the findings. But there was also indication there that some folks had mentioned that you know, they're going to leave it in the hands of the investigative agencies at this point, the Attorney General's office and of course the Office of Public Accountability. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm hoping, as you said, that we'll be able to discuss this moving forward, and what corrective measures we need to
incorporate into statute.
Yeah,
if there are issues, we can fix that. We can fix those by with the administrative process, and we don't. It does not necessarily need to become a Supreme Court of the United States issue before the legislature acts.
No, and that's not my intention. And even from the first call of the oversight that I had about a month and a half ago was that is how do we move forward, take corrective action and measures to move the agency forward. You know, I mean, at least on this downtime. I mean, we're seeing that there definitely is a downtime. I mean, tourism is coming back, but not to you know, to the levels that I mean, it's surpassing the levels that they set out, but it's still not you know, a major comeback. We're hoping it will, but you know, in the meantime, in this downtime, what corrective measures can we take to be in compliance with, you know, with the rest of Guam?
Well, that might be the view from the senator's office, and I'll see if I can compile some messaging that I have gotten from other members of the hospitality community that are saying, you know, it's fine. Obviously, you know, you get something like an oversight hearing and an update on where we are vis-a-vis COVID-19 and this what feels like a long, slow recovery, but more work needs to get done. There are people in the hospitality community that are unsatisfied with the speed with which this recovery is taking place, especially where it comes to Japanese tourists, and they feel that there needs to be a whole lot more attention paid on that. And if it's a requirement that if we need to figure out how to get the board and management to work together better, specifically to achieve that goal, then maybe that's something that needs to be done. And again, if you wait out the public auditor or the Attorney General's office, as we've already heard, these guys are behind the 8 ball already. Prosecution division not as bristly as they need to be, and some of it has to do with the age and the experience level of some of the people that are in that office right now. More needs to be done, and the clock is already running on the hospitality industry.
You're absolutely right, Ray. You're absolutely right in that. But it's not only the folks in the hospitality business and the folks in GVB that needs to get behind this effort to try to bring back, of course, our Japanese tourists. You know, this needs to be a one Guam approach. What other incentives can we implement? Because you know, those are the things that's kind of kicking us in the rear end at this point. Is of course you don't blame the Japanese for putting out incentives to travel domestically, and of course Okinawa is really kicking our butt in that regard. But you know, that's part of Japan.
And as they always have. I mean, the numbers of it is a domestic part of the travel in Japan, but it feels kind of international because you know you go to Okinawa. Okinawa this is my favorite joke about Okinawa is what Guam would have looked like if the Japanese had won the war. The same kind of trees, foliage around here. Got the great great diving down in that part of Japan as well. Very, very interesting conversations, Senator. I hope, and that's the reason why we reached out to you. I'd hope that we would have a date for that third oversight attempt.
Ray, I mean, go back to said if Okinawa, Guam would look like Okinawa, if Japanese would have won the war. If that was the case, then we wouldn't have to be spending our efforts trying to entice the Japanese to come to Guam.
No, we would. I'm not sure that either one of our families would still be here. Jesse Anderson, Lahan, talking to Ray Underwood Gibson. I don't know that we'd still be floating around.
You're right. You're right.
Crazy times.
Absolutely right.
Listen,
but actually, yeah, we definitely need to get to come together as one Guam to look at our different markets, but especially the Japanese market. Try to entice them on what other incentives we can implement to be able to have them again start looking at Guam. I mean, they're wanting to come to Guam, but it's just between the yen versus the dollar and the cost to fly over here, and again,
there are people. Don't mean. I mean, it's an interesting back and forth that we've got here, but there are people in the hospitality industry that are looking around and saying, no, it's not just the yen, it's not just the distance.
Sure? Yeah.
There are other markets further away than Guam, and arguably way more expensive than Guam, that are getting their pre-pandemic numbers. They're getting their pre-pandemic arrivals out of Japan. So there's something in the equation that we as a community are not hitting, and maybe it's just that it's an older of the destinations. Many people have already been here. Many people have been here and have seen a better looking Guam than the one that we have now. It's we're never 1,000% when it comes to litter and graffiti and the number of buildings that need to get torn down and the homeless issues and panhandlers and that kind of thing. And many people, I'm sure that they're saying, gee, if I don't want to see that, I'd go to San Francisco.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's why again, Ray, it has to be a one Guam approach, and to look at everything holistically, and what is happening with these other destinations. What are we doing? What are we not doing? Is this a new way to do tourism? And that's one of the things that of course I asked the folks there, and also to Mayor Bob Hoffman. I mean, is this a new world order now? It's a new type of tourism at this point, right? And how are we looking at it, and how are we projecting to bring these numbers back? So you're absolutely right. But yeah, we need to move forward with this. It needs to be a holistic approach from all of us to get our numbers back to pre-pandemic times, and hopefully to surpass that as well.
One last thing before I let you go. Got some time. It's Monday after the Easter weekend, and I think it's going to take some time before people ramp themselves back up into news-making mode. But while I got you on the line, one of the interesting stories that came from KUAM over the weekend was that they ran into Rear Admiral Benjamin Nicholson on a visit to Saipan, who said legal teams from the military and governor are reviewing the lease, which Guam's Attorney General last Friday declined to sign. It seems to me that why isn't the Attorney General in this conversation? It seems to me that if we're going to do some negotiations and meet on this, maybe some of the things that we ought to do is take the advice of the Attorney General and write in the advice and consent of the 37th Guam Legislature.
You're absolutely right, and I was just going to mention that. Well, where's the Attorney General on this? Why was he not included? But maybe that's why they're just meeting, because they're taking the Attorney General's comments seriously, and they'll include him down the line, and he'll be able to sign off based on including us, because of course the legislature, the purse strings of the government of Guam, and as the Attorney General said, the legislature will be the one providing the funding for this. Yeah. So maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they heed to his comments and working on that, and again present him with something that he can sign off based on our involvement.
Yeah, well, it seems to he'd given the answers to all of the hard questions in the report that he wrote when he said he wasn't going to be signing off on this. Meantime, the clock is running. Anybody that's got the calendar knows that we've got between here and Saturday for the lease to get signed and meet with the deadline requirements that were passed along, apparently from higher offices than the Admiral. As U.S. Douglas Moylan raised concerns over the lack of legislative overview of lease fundings and the prospect of the military taking over the hospital during emergency situations. Meanwhile, the story says, should the governor want to extend the deadline, she's got to make that request to the Pentagon. I thought this was our Admiral here that put that deadline together. He says, well, it's not up to me. That happens at the Department of the Navy, and if she asks, it depends on where we are in the process, but she would not ask that of me. I'm kind of just a conveyor of the message that he stated out there, which is odd because it sure didn't sound like that when they invoked the deadline.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. Now that the Attorney General came back with his opinion, of course, the legislature acted as well. Oh, it wasn't me.
Right? It kind of makes that sound like, well, when I heard it, it was like, can't be sitting around here forever. I'm a get it done kind of guy. According to DC.
Absolutely. Now it wasn't me. You got to talk to the Pentagon. No, it wasn't me that made that decision. Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm just the messenger.
Am I the only one that reads these things and goes, hey, wait a second? Senator, always a pleasure talking with you. Hope you had a fantastic Easter weekend. I'm looking for some more feathers and fireworks this week. So get back to work.
Oh, you got it. I'm going to an oversight hearing right now, too, as well.
Which one? Oh, it's an oversight on. Is this Roy Knapp's?
Yeah, this is a joint oversight with the Vice Speaker and Roy's. This is actually I had requested the oversight for this, for this to happen actually in regards to the OPA findings and the suspected non-collection or under-collection of these monies from federal contractors.
But that's one. The notice in the paper makes reference to another OPA report talking about the problems with collecting the excise taxes on alcohol, beverage, and tobacco products.
I don't think this oversight is on that one. I think this is just the particular one in regards to the Vice Speaker's Office of Technology and likewise. Or the technology that will be able to capture some of this information regards to the payments and Senator Roy Knapp's. Yeah, I don't think.
I'll send you a copy of the ad that I think is in one of the newspapers over the last 4 days, so you can see it. Yes, it makes reference in bold to business privilege tax on military construction contracts, and then another document from the Public Auditor's Office, OPA report number 23-02.
So it might be for both situations. Yeah, absolutely, because the letter that I sent out requesting for an oversight was actually
just on the military.
Yes, to the Vice Speaker. So but they're doing a joint, so it could be inclusive of that as well.
Interesting. Okay, that's going to take place.
My way over there.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to be late if you stay on the phone too much longer. I'll talk to you soon, Senator. Senator Jesse Anderson Lahan on the radio with me this morning in 2 minutes now. It'll be 9 and the beginning, and that will mark the beginning of that. Now, I don't know what specifically is going to be coming up. There have been a lot of conversations about, we might be missing out on a whole lot of money because we don't have the tools and the technology that we need to be able to actively surveil all of the military business here on Guam. Senator Jesse Lujan was talking about that, saying, there's websites that you can go to and see exactly who's involved in what contracts and what the spend is supposed to be on Guam. Why don't we have that information likewise in a database that we've got out here? What is it that you guys are doing every day over at the Bureau of Information Technology, if not things like this? And then there is the other question that will come up perennially, is what are the capabilities of the Department of Revenue and Taxation to be able to correctly and efficiently capture excise taxes on alcohol and tobacco products? When you buy cigarettes, there's supposed to be a little sticker on it. Right, a little stamp, they say, that indicates that the tax was paid on all of these things. And I'm going to throw that in with universal trash collection and the bottle bill, right, where we've got an actual law that says that there ought to be a mechanism for you and I to go into the jungle and pull out all these plastic containers and aluminum cans and big old bottles of beers and wine or drinks or whatever and turn them in for money. They haven't had that kind of animal here since I was a little boy. It's 9. The radio station's KUSG. I got you. That's what we're known as in Washington, D.C. Around here, this is The Point, Pika's best. Or haven't you heard? Maybe I'll do some low-key bragging on that in the next hour of the program. Got a breakaway. Fox News Live is coming up next. I'm going to take a look at what happened on the meme machine and put some of that up on screen for you. So stick around, Brown.
Ousted
state legislators receive an invitation. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News. President Biden has invited 3 Tennessee state lawmakers to the White House, including 2 who were expelled from office.
State Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson were expelled by the State House's Republican majority Thursday after leading protests inspired by the Nashville Covenant school shooting, which killed 6 people. Pearson says removal was a power grab.
In order to be able to dictate and control what it is that their majority black populations and progressive populations do.
Jones says this is not the end, but the beginning.
Their decision to expel us is not the ultimate authority, but that the people will hold them accountable.
Both appearing Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press.
Fox's Kevin Ureski. China's military simulated a strike on Taiwan in a second day of military drills around the island. Texas Republican Congressman Michael McCall on NBC's Meet the Press.
China's going to try to influence this next election and take over the island without a shot fired.
China claims Taiwan as part of its nation. Gas prices went up 14 cents a gallon over the past 2 weeks to a new national average of $3.66 a gallon. This after OPEC announced a reduction in production. Oil industry analyst Trilby Lundberg.
We can see that there's at least another 10 or 15 cents waiting in the wings that have not even been passed through, as refiners took a hit on not passing it all through to their customers.
Cheyenne, Wyoming, with the lowest average price per gallon at $3.11. San Francisco with the highest at $4.90. Florida authorities yesterday arrested a 3rd juvenile in connection to the killings of 3 teens in rural Marion County around the end of March. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says 16-year-old Taj Bruton was arrested just south of Groveland, Florida. 2 other juvenile suspects, including a 12-year-old, were already in custody. America is listening to Fox News.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
Join us at Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro and see why they've been crowned Guam's best Chamorro food restaurant for 9 consecutive years. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus tinactac, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet burgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña location from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. for dinner, or 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for their famous Sunday brunch.
More help is needed across the central part of the U.S. amid recent outbreaks of deadly and destructive tornadoes.
Deadly tornadoes have ripped across the U.S. in recent weeks, including an EF3 tornado that flattened parts of Little Rock, Arkansas, an EF4 that badly damaged east central Mississippi and took 16 lives, and an EF2 tornado that struck southern Missouri last week, and with relief efforts underway in multiple states.
We're just seeing a lot of devastation, a lot of shock, people not really knowing what their next step is going to be.
American Red Cross spokesperson Lori Arnold Ellis on Fox Weather asking for help. Fox and its employees have also donated over $1 million to the American Red Cross for southern tornado relief efforts. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
The Grammys salute the American treasure known as the Beach Boys. Fox's Michelle Polino reports.
The legendary Beach Boys are celebrated in a Grammy salute to the Beach Boys, airing on CBS and on demand on Paramount Plus. Members of the band will be the featured guests as a star-studded lineup of musicians performs the band's greatest hits at the iconic Dolby Theater in Los Angeles.
Their harmonies and their songs and their energy, and it's just perfection.
Little Big Town, Hanson, John Legend, Brandy Carlisle, and more are among the performers that take the stage, in addition to special appearances by Drew Carey, Tom Hanks, Elton John, Bruce Springsteen, and John Stamos. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Some Ukrainians marked Palm Sunday with a service inside the country's most revered Orthodox site. It was the first significant religious service in the refectory church of Anthony and Theodosius since monks residing there were evicted for alleged links to Russia. Today's service was peaceful with some police presence near the entrances. I'm Joe Chiro, Fox News.
fill. Where others put branches, we place roots.
With decades experience in Guam and the region, Take Care members have access to the largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs. Membership also includes the high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers and the one-stop FHB Health Center and urgent care. Ask for Take Care. Call 671-647-3526. Go to takecareasia.com for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Half a day. This is Clara Manglona from Security Title with an important warning. Wire fraud is real, and home buyers and sellers are one of the biggest targets, even on Guam. When sending money by wire transfer, be sure to confirm the wire instructions by phone, not email. In this case, it's good to be suspicious and know who you're dealing with. Let the professionals at Security Title work with you to minimize loss due to wire fraud. We are here to help.
Kelly LeBrock.
Yeah, Weird Science. Right? Oh, yeah, Kelly LeBrock was in the Steven Seagal.
Hard to Kill?
Yeah, she was in one of them.
Okay, Under Siege.
She was
had
a girlfriend,
the Playboy chick that actually turned into a real,
Came out of
like
Cake.
terrorist tomboy.
Yeah.
she was awesome, and I think it was Hard to Kill. Then you got some of the other good stuff here. It's Out for Justice, Above the Law, Exit Wounds, and Dave Sablon writing me. Hold on a second. I got to pull the thing up on the phone. Dave writing me says Steven Seagal starred in a movie named Belly of the Beast. In the movie, his daughter, the character, the girl that plays the daughter, is my goddaughter, as in Dave Sablon's goddaughter, Sarah Mulakul Lane. And she is the daughter of Alistair and Tim Lane. Alistair was president of AK in the late 70s and early 80s. Sarah was born on Guam and is, in addition to appearing in a Steven Seagal movie, is also a famous model in Thailand.
Cool,
nice.
man.
See,
Guam
that's
ties.
the value of a celebrity birthday, is to be able to have somebody say, "Oh, Steven Seagal, know that guy, owes me $20." Yep. How about, okay, anybody with the, what are the other ones? Mandy Moore from This Is Us and Haley Joel Osment. Somewhere there's got to be a brush with greatness, a connection to that kind of celebrity. 7 after 9 o'clock in the morning. Portions of the program are being brought to you by APL, American President Lines, global presence with a local home, and Guam Regional Medical City. They are your health care partners.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Boom. Okay, whatever they did over at Facebook, I don't like it. I normally by now would be taking a look at gazillions of comments and things like that from among the Facebook viewers, and it's like there's like half of them there. I mean, the latest comment was Jose Tetpago Jr. says, "I nominate Peter Santos to assist at the Attorney General's office," and that's based on a conversation we had with Tom Fisher at 7:45.
A part-timer? Oh, reserve AG.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Can be done.
Give him a per diem.
It's Joe Coy tickets.
What is it called?
I'd do it for Joe Coy, man. We haven't spent enough time talking about Joe Coy yet today. I think there's still a whole lot of people for whom are trying to figure out whether or not there is going to be a third show. And I've asked Real Joe to reach out to one of the guys.
Yeah, he can't call till tomorrow, man, that guy.
What?
I don't know why. Everyone's hungover from yesterday. People broke fasts from alcohol and all kinds of drugs.
Oh, I'm wondering how many people. Right, wondering how many people are like in like a rice-induced coma because they haven't had rice since the beginning of Lent, and all of a sudden it's okay. Where are you at, Jay? I'm in Pirates Cove. They got red rice. Hurry up!
Carved out, man.
The whole thing. One plate. It was a buffet. One plate, just red rice. Right, and really fantastic people helping out down there. Happy, thank you for helping make my family's Easter that much happier. But I'm with you. I was cruising around. It's funny, you get to a certain age and there's portions of Easter you just don't even have a recollection for. Right, my niece and now she is like the youngest member of the family. And for her, yeah, I'm wearing a pretty dress. I went Easter egg hunting this morning, but the next younger of the cousins is my daughter, who is 18, And all she could think of was, if I get to work, I'm getting overtime. I'm getting a holiday pay on the job. So I'm not going to be here past about 1:30 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, Daddy, love you. So it's like that. Everybody's got different interpretations of what it means. I had the opportunity to spend a chunk of time with some of my hiking buddies yesterday, who asked me at some point when I will hike again, and I said, I'm not a great hiker, and it will happen from time to time that I will go out there
Who's a great hiker?
and Reed Topaznia is a great hiker.
You're right about that.
Reed is a great hiker, and there's I can only give you nicknames if I was going to bring up the other group, but there's a whole bunch of guys for whom they walk into the jungle and can walk around in the jungle for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
We need a name for you, Ray.
And find their way back to the car, which is still a glorious mystery to me. I go in there with my phone and go, "Oh, you gonna take pictures?" And no, if I need to call the fireman to come and get me. At any rate. So a bunch of great hikers that I got to spend time with. I'm not a great one, and what will happen from time to time was I will injure myself, and I really am trying to be faithful to my goal for 2023, and that is to get to Honolulu for the marathon.
Oh yeah.
If I can get some Joe Coin money in me and afford the airplane ride between here and Honolulu. That's my goal. So literally every day this weekend, and even before that, I've been running. I've been 5Ks at the gym, or 5Ks on the road, or yesterday it was Friday morning. I went out and ran the Coco route.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How was that, man?
Dude, I was feeling like
fast.
Woo, look at me.
No,
go. Not fast, but I was pleased. And then I get a call from a friend of mine. Says, "Hey, you know what we're doing tomorrow?" I said, "What's that?" He says, "We're gonna go run the Coco route. You want to come?" I'm like, "Oh God, I just did that." So I back to back at Friday and Saturday, and then Saturday I was down there, and Josh Tykenko from GVB was shooting video on the run because he's that good, and got a shot of me. And I think he waited out until I posted it because you know how sensitive I am about my massive belly these days.
Oh wow!
Yeah. But he got a shot where it wasn't massive. Only Lee Weber was the only one that said, "Hey, looking kind of chubby there, buddy."
Oh wow!
Thanks, Lee.
Mr.
Appreciate
Weber,
it.
yeah. That's AI, Lee. It's AI.
Yes, it is embellished. Dennis Benzer's online saying, "Ray, you are an excellent hiker." I don't know, bro. There's certain skills that I haven't got yet. So I'm trying to stay close to running these days as opposed to hiking. And by the way, Dennis, you're an excellent chef. Thank you very much.
Wow.
This guy
each other's shoes on the radio.
Comes out with he prepared the food yesterday and a blank ton of champagne all day long, and so he comes out and he's got what looks like a rack of ribs. And I'm going,
oh, wow.
They just and I could tell by looking at them that the meat was going to fall off. If he'd have shaken the tray anymore, the meat would have fallen off even faster into this incredible kind of hickory smoke glaze that he had over the thing. And it was one of those where people were eating and literally laying down in a food coma. I mean, you got to hang out with me and my pals. 9:13 in the morning, and since it's Monday morning and there ain't nothing else going on. I mean, I'll look at the table of contents, but I think we've covered all the interesting stuff. Going back to the public hearing or the oversight of GVB on Friday, that was very, very interesting at so many different levels. But that was Thursday. Friday, no, it was late Thursday. All the days run together when you've got that holiday. I get a note from Albert, and he says, a package came in for you.
You've got mail.
From Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
And
what do we got?
I'll hold it till Monday. So here we are. This is the unbagging, if you will, of the Amazon goodie. And I sure do wish there was some kind of recycling I could do with all of this. But anyway, so it says, from the Amazon Fulfillment Services, which is among my favorites. Can you see it from inside there? Do you see it? What's that word?
What is that?
It's Casio.
Oh.
It's my Casio watch.
Calculator watch.
It's my Casio calculator watch.
No, wait. Are you kidding?
You're
not kidding.
I'm totally unveiling the thing now. All right. We remove one layer of it. The other one falls right off. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Casio Data Bank 8-digit calculator. It will show me dual times, a daily alarm, and it's water resistant.
Oh, yeah, resistant.
Resistant.
Not proof,
Not proof.
How many meters, Ray? How many meters?
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to read the fine print that is on the inside of all of this stuff here. But I've wanted one. We talked about this last week. I've literally wanted one of these things since I discovered in my teenage years that I was a geek. But you know, the only guys that had watches like this, they were like hand-me-downs from their rich dads at Father Duenas. And then there was chunks of the 80s and the 90s where wow, there was like only one. The only place where you could buy this was like TikTok and Shock Shop at a Ganya shopping center.
The Shock Shop.
Do you remember that?
I remember the dude.
Yeah. Ishu was his name. Just a terrific guy. Yeah, absolutely.
He was
a terrific
like an
guy.
Indian phantasm dude.
Man. That guy could look at you. If you were goofing off, that guy could just look at you. That guy's heart was
sweet, right? Yeah.
As big as General Delivery. And so, oh my God, the time is actually correct. Nah, it's not. It's one of those things I gotta set. Where's the thing where you push it and it locks into the GPS satellite and it gets the time from there? It doesn't have it.
Chinese are tracking you,
They
Ray.
never had that kind of thing. And look at how thin this thing is. You get used to wearing thick Garmin watches or Apple Watch or something like that, but to die for. So I think for the rest of the day, I'm going to have 2 watches on my hands. I'm going to have the calculator watch. Is there a stylus?
Did you have the radio watch? The one with the radio in it?
No. I did not have that one back in those, because I think it was just AM.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything worth listening to on the AM radio at the time. I mean, Johnny Gerber was gone. He wasn't doing a show anymore. Oh, wait, I was on. Anyway, 9:16 in the morning. Hope you enjoyed the unboxing, and you might want to be trying to think of what I'm going to be unboxing next. And it depends on whether I get to Beyond the Box at the Micronesia Mall before the order is fulfilled on Amazon. I'm going to be Mr. Apple Tag, AirTag. I'm going to be that's what I'm going to be when I grow up. They say, a wonderful career in radio, great father, respected in the community. What Ray is your legacy? And I'm going to say my legacy is being the ambassador, the disciple, or one of the other, the messiah of Apple AirTags. I just think that the technology is so cool, right? So I've got 4 of them. And I'm noticing as each day goes by that, and as many more of these stories that we have about Saki Melanias, right? As each day goes by, I come up with another reason to go to Beyond the Box at the mall and get myself an Apple AirTag. The most recent one is I told you about my buddy, my millionaire buddy JB.
Oh yeah,
who loaned/gave me a Yeti cooler. Right?
Yeah.
So I've got a Yeti cooler.
You have it now.
And he got mad at me because he saw me at the beach a couple of weeks ago. He says, "Where's the Yeti I gave you?" I said, "Well, I thought it was a loan, and I don't want to just take it out because I'll go in the water to go pee, and I will come back, and the thing and all my beer is going to be gone." So there's an air tag that will go into that Yeti, so that if something happens to it, I will be able to, like that kid in the States, go find the Yeti and shoot the SOB that stole it from me.
Yeah, man finds Yeti.
Actually, it was
man gets stolen.
It was a bigger deal. In the States, it was a truck. I think the guy. No, did you hear that story?
I did.
Where the guy had an air tag or something that would ping on the Apple family network and went and found the dude that took off with the vehicle and shot him dead. I think they must have got into some kind of argument about that one way or the other. Anyway, 9:19 in the morning, 888-825-5888-TALK. I don't generally go backwards. Generally, once I've uttered something, I don't necessarily go backwards and review it. But what the hell? It's 20 after 9 on a Monday morning after Easter, and the thoughts that are in my head now run fairly parallel to what they were at 6 o'clock when I started putting the show together. Is we are just 48 hours away from the 100th anniversary of the 37th Guam legislature. And I kind of want to ask you, I mean, we get into the interpretation of what that means. I already told you mine. I'm always generous with the benefit of the doubt, at least for the first 100 days, because there's so much newness, and even if you're somebody that's been at the legislature for a long time, you still need to reassess where everything is based on where you are, your level of experience, the new guys that are coming in, the buy-in senators that might be coming in, and so it's never the same legislature twice. The same level of uselessness forever. No. But it's never the same legislature twice. As an example, you think about this legislature, Will Parkinson, who referred to himself as a member of the minority in the 37th Guam legislature. Well, he's a Democrat. The Democrats hold a majority in the legislature. How is it possible, Will, that you are a member of the minority? And the reason is, mathematically, there is the Adelup 6, and then you've got the Republican minority and the breakaway republic.
Breakaway!
Of Sabine and Chris and Therese. And it won't always be that way, but it's that way enough. So unless there's any substantial changes between now and the end of the week, I'm here to tell you this might be a very, very dynamic legislature. And so far, the first 98 days have been, and I got to say it this way, guys, because I've always been honest and upfront with you. I work here, I live here, I play here, I pray here, I hike here, I go pee-pee in water on the beaches here. This is my home. And I think I'm keenly aware of what goes on in the legislature and how their actions or inactions may affect my life, for which I will talk about. But the rest of it now is this legislature better than the last two for sure, and a bunch of other ones before, seems to have a level of predictable unpredictability. You never know what's going to happen, but you're pretty sure it will be a rerun of something that has happened before. So when Senator Chris Duenas starts... Can you hear it? What the heck? It sounds like a dog outside. Very sensitive earphones here. Anyway, we've got the legislature. It's very easy to predict what the legislature is going to do with Chris Duenas' Bill 7, which calls for legislative involvement when it comes to these rotating and rerunning executive orders, when it comes to the nature of the executive orders and what the first branch of government can do under those urgent situations. Similar to the resolution that Bob Klitsky penned, similar to his own Bill 11 in the 36th Guam legislature. And what has happened now is there will be what looks like visible support from among your colleagues. And there will be people, Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of my colleague, Senator Chris Duenas' Bill number 7, and will vote in favor of it. It will go to the governor's office. It will get vetoed, and some of those impassioned voices ain't going to be able to be found to help you override that veto. We just literally went through this. So, as I said, predictably unpredictable 37th Guam legislature. And I think maybe unless something else pops into my mind, that might be the nickname that I give to this particular body. What was the last one? Just as bad as the other ones? And then the 35th Guam legislature was dumbest bunch ever.
This is the most improved legislature so far.
Most improved. They're showing up to all the meetings. Dr. Ron McNinch on the line with me, and in holding pattern, I got in the dugout. I got Ken LG. Used to be the other Governor Leon Guerrero. Buenos and half a day, Dr. McNinch.
Hey, half a day, Cousin Ray.
Still funny. Sorry, still funny. How was your Easter weekend?
Oh, it was okay. It was nice. Me and my wife went out and ate, and it was just a very, very nice, relaxing weekend.
Well, the pretty daughter of yours didn't get on an airplane to spend the Easter weekend with her daddy?
Well, she'll come for Christmas. She'll come in December.
Are you going to go see her anytime soon? I need to know what the rotation is here. My daughter's going to college and graduation in about a month from right now, and honestly, there's parts of me that are freaking out. I've always heard of this, and I didn't think I would feel as some of my other friends did. But they're watching their kids go off to college, and that's the new midlife crisis.
FaceTime has dynamically changed the effect of having a child live somewhere else.
So you can just do just electronics?
Right. You can just say hello every day in person. Back in the day, your kid could go off for a year and they come back an entirely different person. Now you're able to see them every day, talk to them every day. There's no sudden shifts in, wow, they've grown up.
Yeah.
I haven't felt that way. It's been more incremental and slow in terms of I know now she's a full-fledged adult. I know that she's got adult-like responsibilities and values, but it was more of a gradual, slow change. There's a point when every parent realizes that their child is a full-fledged adult, and you can talk to them differently and share things with them differently that you don't share with them when they're a child. Children should never be burdened with their parents' concerns. They should not grow up that way. But when they're adults, you can share everything with them.
I'm kind of looking forward to that. What I was really looking for, though, was what's the schedule? I mean, so do I follow her to the campus day one? Do I go back that first Christmas, or does she come home for the first Christmas? What are we doing about holiday breaks, spring break, stuff like that? Do I leave her to her classmates to go down to Cabo or someplace?
Yeah, we want her to come back at least once or twice a year. She has friends here. She has. Guam's her home, and she doesn't intend to stay away for long. And I was teasing her. She's run for office, and she would have been the 10th member to form the. She would have probably ran as a Republican or a Democrat, but she would probably have been in the 10 to have formed the one that they need.
Well, I'm holding out hope here. As I said, we've got a benchmark. There's a milestone in the 100th day of the legislature, and I'm holding out hope that there will be at least one member of what is now considered the Adelup Six. In fact, there might be somebody on the Adelup Six going, "Why you guys keep, lumping me in with these guys?"
Right.
We're not the same. I'm not. It's not like we exchange emails with each other. We don't have a separate WhatsApp group or anything like that. I just, I voted the way I voted on these measures, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I have the same agenda as some of the other members of the six.
Right. The coalition needs one. The Democrats need two, and it's far easier to get one than two. But here's the larger point. And I like Governor Leon Guerrero, and I know some people may want to argue this. I like her, and I think she can do great things. I think sometimes she doesn't get good advice from people. The biggest mistake that
sometimes?
she made, yeah, well, that's a fair point. The biggest mistake that she made was during COVID, she got the rubber stamp on everything. And now she can't get a rubber stamp on everything because we're in a different mode now legislatively. And the legislators want to be involved. They want to be interacted with. And our governor's not used to that. And she was in that body for many years. And so part of this may be driven from her experiences as an individual senator, and she was in the majority for many years. And in order for the governor to get anything done, she has to court and be the leader of her party, and she has to court and align with the legislature in ways she hasn't done before. And so that's really her challenge. And also part of this is related to the canceling of all the debates. I don't know if you remember that.
Are you still mad about that?
Well, I'm still being processed for it, really. And we just had a meeting on Friday to determine my discipline for saying that they should debate. And because they didn't debate, they didn't have to make promises. They didn't, both parties, both the Republicans and Democrats, didn't have to set the vision. They didn't have to set the agenda in a debate format that would create a consensus later on. And that's one of the values of a debate. A debate can really push ideas and big ideas and get the community behind you and feel that they're connected with you. That's what a debate should do. And they lost that. They didn't have that opportunity. Yeah, they had some media events where they talked, but there's a difference between a debate and just talking. And then they did have one debate. They had the chamber debate that was direct, which was good. But other than that, they didn't really set the agenda with the public, and that was to everyone's detriment. And also, it's a symptom of a maybe a sense of a lack of consultation with the legislature. The legislature should be a partner. In fact, with a legislative majority, and they do have a majority/coalition, they could get a huge amount of things done.
Oh, they had that in the 36th and the 35th Guam legislature. So I think the opportunity for that to happen has elapsed. You and I have had this conversation, and so I'm going to finish it. I'm going to wrap it up real quick. 35th Guam legislature, 36th Guam legislature, the entire island run by Democrat women. Speaker of the legislature for the first 2 years was Tina Rose Munya Barnes. And then you've got the governor. I mean, hell, even the lady in charge of the courthouse was a woman. Arguably, I'm sure she's got some liberal stripes in there somewhere. But there was never a better opportunity for us to quickly meet, resolve our issues, and see the most progressive time that we have ever had on Guam. What do we have that shows anything for the last couple of years? We've got some great spend of federal dollars. But we've still got some things that we have to do on our own that we simply seem incapable of doing. I will point to, and even though some people will say, oh, my God, Ray, that's so snowflakey of you, but the Agana swimming pool. With all of the money that we've got available to us right now that has been squandered for one political reason or another, there's no reason why that swimming pool should not be in active use 12, 14, 16 hours a day. And I will continue to use that as an example of the failures of this administration. 9:32. I got to go.
Ray, there's hope. Birth certificates could change and all these.
Yeah. So, okay, well, look at my birth certificate, and I'm trying to figure out which gender I could apply when I change my name.
We'll have to have a further discussion. A wonderful conversation today, Ray.
Okay, I'll talk to you pretty soon. But that's an interesting idea. You know what? My father went through the name change process. He was born, believe it or not, his name. And I still know unbelievably little about it. His legal name was Eska, E-S-K-A, Lavelle, L-A-V-E-L-L-E, Gibson, E-L, Bill Gibson. And people would call him Bill, and every once in a while they'd call him William. He said, no. I'm not Bill. I mean, I'm not a William. My name is Bill. It's 4 letters. That's all it takes. And he changed his name and did all of that stuff. So I wonder maybe there's an opportunity for me to get a name change in there somewhere. 9:33 in Tony T. Babauta. Right? Agate rules.
Yeah.
But it'd be no fun. I mean, that's staying in the same gender. That's staying in the same gender. Anyway, let me. Do we have any heavy breaks that we got to take?
We have one now, yeah.
Okay, there's a quick break. Ken, stay right there. I'll be there.
Chili's has just rolled out the best version yet of the 3 for $15 meal deal. Mix and match your choice of beverage and starter with the largest selection of entrees. Enjoy crowd favorite dishes like the honey chipotle chicken crispers with rice, bacon ranch quesadillas, or the juicy Santa Fe burger. There's so many combinations to choose from that you might have to three-peat to try them all. So come on down and make your own 3 for $15 meal deal at Chili's. More life and great value happen here.
Did you know that our liver serves over 500 functions for our body? A healthy liver provides a wide range of health benefits. TMC's Center for Liver Health and Transplantation prides itself in providing world-class diagnostic and therapeutic services to patients with liver diseases such as liver cancer, cirrhosis, and viral hepatitis. The TMC Liver Center is known for the high success rate of their liver transplant program, capable of both pediatric and adult, deceased, and living donor liver transplantation. For more information, contact the TMC referral office at 988-8627. The Medical City, your partner in health and in sickness.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Chelon, San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Studio time 9:35. I've just been notified I've earned a top fan badge as one of Philippines' finest, most engaged followers.
Did you accept it?
I suppose you got to do that, right? So,
yeah.
So I
Congratulations.
You're welcome. So apparently I get exclusive and early access to the content summary of activity about Philippine Finest. And you might be wondering, what is it that they're referring to in this Philippine Finest on Facebook? Nunya. You want to know? You want to know? You go to Facebook and look it up. And I'm just going to tell you right now. There's something that is striking about the what do you call it? The profile picture that you will find on screen. 9:35 in the morning. Portions of the program being brought to you by the team over at NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. If you haven't heard yet, it's Frontier season. You know, you thought maybe that went away with Lent. No. They're going to keep this thing going for a while now. Test drive a new Nissan Frontier. You could win up to $1,000 in cash. Great prizes. We got free grills, coolers, canopies, all kinds of stuff to help accentuate that Frontier lifestyle we want you to lead. And how do you lead it for sure? Buy the truck. Buy the truck. You can go online right now at NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web and start to put the vehicle together. What color do you like? What options do you like? Tell me about the standards that you want to see on the inside of it. And they will put it together, no money down. Nissan will make the first 3 payments. And when you take delivery, there's this cool little car wash kit. I don't know if they give that to everybody, but I'm going to assume they're going to give it to anybody that says, I mentioned it on the radio. Case of Spam, 25-pound bag of rice. It's such a fantastic deal, and there's such great people over at NissanGuam.com. There it is, non-copyright music to take us out of the break and into the next segment of talk here, 9:36, and my God, it's been days since I've heard from Ken Leon Guerrero, formerly known as the other Governor Leon Guerrero. Buenas and half a day.
Remember, I abdicated in favor of Governor Speaker Terlaki.
You know, I haven't not heard from her whether she wanted to accept that honorary position.
Well, it would complicate things for her, that's for sure.
Oh, it's already oh my God, it's already complicated. Did you see where the legislature? It's in today's paper, right? So we're going to go to Sunday, Friday, Monday page. This should have been, in my mind, this should have been the top story. But instead, and it's even underneath the fold where Roy Respicio is presenting the 2023 master plan to the port board members. Woo! Stay up late for that. But there's a story John O'Connor did that should be in the front page. According to BBMR, and happy belated birthday to Les Carlson. Just over the weekend. Over the weekend, he got a birthday. Kathy Calmo's birthday today from over at Payless. But it says, according to BBMR, not enough in proposed source to extend GPA bill credits. Those are the $500 a month things that are going to be ending this month. And I think because it's Therese asking for an extension of it, the answer is going to be no. Even if they got the money, even if between BBMR and the Department of Administration, they'd be able to find the dough sufficient to be able to clear this, because it's Therese Terlai asking. The answer is no. Not only no, hell no.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. After all, there's only $300 million in AARP funds,
oh my
which were
God,
sent by the federal government.
I mean, if we really wanted to,
for the people of Guam, you know,
if we really wanted to, they could find that dough.
Yeah, they could, but they won't.
No, because it's Therese.
And they're gonna wait until it's reintroduced by Tina Mooney Barnes or Amanda Shelton. You know, because remember, Amanda and Tina are trying hard to hold their positions with the public, because right now the public is seeing, especially after last week, how dysfunctional the Guadalupe Six are when it comes to representing the interests of the people of Guam. And you know, I was kind of silent on that whole thing about Guam Visitors Bureau, because I was, you know, there's so many battles that I get involved in that I didn't feel I needed to get into that one. But watching the legislature in action, and that was the crime right there. Because we now see, beyond all shadow of a doubt, the Guadalupe Six are more concerned about serving the needs of Guadalupe than serving the needs of the people who elected them, and they will continue to do so.
You would think that there was enough political peril based on the outcomes of the most recent elections, but I don't know. As Cousin Troy is fond of saying, the voters of Guam love to torture themselves.
Yeah, I've kind of come around to that too, because I get all these people coming up to me asking me what I'm going to do about stuff. I say, well, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And then we get that whole thing. Oh, I can't do anything, because that goes back to the fact that so many of our people are economic hostages, and we have the most vindictive government in the history of Guam that people are afraid to speak up, to say anything, because if it's not their job that's on the line or their business contracts on the line, they've got children who work for the largest employer on Guam, the one that has guaranteed pay raises and guaranteed benefits, and will have them as the last business closes on this island, which is probably going to happen before the end of this year at the rate this economy is going.
Well, I think that's a little heavy, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Well, every single day, people come up to me and tell me why they're leaving. I'm sure you get these calls or notices too. When I'm getting...
No, a buddy of mine just told me him and his family, they're going to leave a business, probably lease out a couple of pieces of property and move to Arizona.
Yeah. The whole point here is that every person that leaves primes the pump for 10 more. Because apparently some people in the hotel tourism industry moved to, of all places, Houston. And apparently in Houston, they're starting at $16 an hour in Houston at entry-level positions in the hotel industry. And so more people who are not...
The hell, what do you want to go to Houston for? There's not enough people that want... Who's the $16 an hour to work in a hotel in Houston?
Well, it's better than minimum wage in a hotel here on Guam in half hours, because a lot of people I talk to in the industry, because our tourism isn't backed up yet, they don't have full hours. They're working 3 or 4 jobs just to be able to pay their power bills, and now they're going to have to work 5 jobs because the governor's not going to give them that little help that they need.
No, sure doesn't look like it. Okay, the fastest growing and shrinking markets in the United States of America, this mainland numbers, believe it or not, San Francisco County, I believe this totally, has lost 7% of their population, and it's probably going to be, as you point out, folks in the middle class, upper middle class, that are saying, this is it, I got to get the hell out of California, in particular, the most expensive city in the state, which is San Francisco. Where are they moving to? Well, hard to say exactly where they're moving to, but there's a place called Kaufman County in Texas. And the population there has gone up 17%.
Well, when you look at the recent news where Walmarts are closing in Hawaii, they're closing in San Francisco, they're closing in Portland, they're closing in Seattle, they're closing 269 Walmarts this year. And we're looking at drugs. I mean, in San Francisco, I think almost all the drugstore chains have pulled out of San Francisco now. CVS, Rite Aid have pulled out of San Francisco. We're seeing the collapse in the retail sector because 2 reasons. 1, crime. And
crime.
2nd, online pharmacies.
Yeah.
Online pharmacies are, especially the one with Mark Cuban. I think Mark Cuban reported like 45% increase in sales 2022 over 2021 as more and more people who are struggling to survive are finding low-cost ways to survive. And when you look at where people are moving to, they're moving to where the jobs are, where real jobs are, and where the shortages are. People over here on Guam claim that we have a shortage of people. They can't get anybody to apply for jobs, but I've talked to people who applied for jobs in a number of businesses, never got a call back, so they're getting ready to leave. Yeah. But the reason these businesses aren't calling them back is their businesses are in trouble. It's a domino effect. You take all these people off island that had talent. We're left with people that don't have as much talent as the people left. The businesses are not as productive as they were when they had more talented people. And then we have businesses closing down like crazy. it's getting to the point where every time I drive to town, I see a new vacancy in the Adelup to Tamuning corridor. You know, so as the tax base shrinks, how does the government respond?
More taxes. We're going to higher taxes and more fees out there, and less by way of glad handing regular ratepayers in favor of people that work in the government. 9:45. I'm gonna let you go. I need to clear the deck and change the subject.
Just one.
You're
one
like
last
depressing
thought.
me. Get the 9. Get the Glock.
In the last 4 years, the cost of government has gone up 50%. We've gone from $800 million budgets to $1.2 billion budgets. Has our economy grown 50% to support that?
There was cash available to support that, and that's one of the reasons of why anybody, it seems, with any kind of brains or critical thought is saying, you know, all these raises that we're handing out. I'm glad you guys at DOA and BBMR, et cetera, in the administration, all these other department and agency heads, the six-figure plus club are getting together and saying, oh, no, we've got to do this, but we can't afford this. You're basing that on the assumptions that the money is going to be as it was over the last couple of years, and it's not. The emergency is going to go away in a month, and if you haven't spent what you got, you're not looking at anybody that's going to be coming in and replacing it. Plus, it's possible that there could be audits done on the spend that we did have that we might have to pay back, depending on whether or not the federal government feels like imposing those penalties on us. So things could change rather rapidly, and I hope that the government, like the taxpayers around here, are willing and able to take it in a couple notches on the belt. 9:46. I'll talk to you pretty soon.
Okay.
All right, buddy. 888-825-5888-TALK. All right. There's you can always count on the doom and gloom there. Look, people are leaving town. And that is a fact. People have always left town. You remember when the Asian economy dumped? You remember that? What was the number one export on Guam was cargo containers. Is all the people that decide, that's it, man. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna go live with my cousin in Vallejo or up in Federal Way, and they did, and they come back for funerals. That's it. That's where things are going to be headed. Are there enough people that are replacing them here on Guam with educations, with experience, with a good work ethic? I might look at the magistrate report. You got a guy. There's a guy. I don't know if you saw the story, but the cops busted him in one of these little hotels that we've got going on around here. Yeah. And they said, man, why are you selling that? Why are you selling the crystal methamphetamine? The guy said, man, I got to sell this to survive.
Survival.
I got to survive. Bro, go and look at the Micronesian community and see what they're doing to survive. You see these guys, if they know that they can get that breadfruit off the tree, they're getting it. Mangoes down in Naganya. The same mango trees when I was a kid. If I was caught climbing that, man, they're gonna come. First thing, they're gonna get that big long bamboo thing. Okay. And poke me with that until I fall out of the damn tree. Listen, Underwood, this is not your tree. Get out of here. There's a tree across the street from your grandmother's house. Go climb that one. And
hairy mangoes.
Yeah. But there are people that are doing a lot more out there with themselves, not from around here, not given the benefit of a free education on Guam, and they figured out how to survive without selling crystal methamphetamine. So don't hit me with, oh, man, I need that to survive. Lazy ass. 9:48 in the morning. All right. So we've been cheerleaders. Jack, I'm coming your way in a second. But we have been cheerleaders at this radio station, and certainly this morning show, of the great pickleball revolution. In fact, I was disappointed. I ran by twice over the weekend. I ran by the Tamuning tennis courts there at the ITC building intersection. And they were playing actually tennis. Because normally when I pass by, is pickleball. You know what I think happens? I think the pickleball guys wait until the tennis guys rub the water off the tennis ball courts. Yeah, so once the tennis guys have done the work, then they come in and they swoop down with the pickleball. And you might be going, wow, Ray, where's that from? All right. Cities nationwide face seemingly limitless demand for pickleball courts. It is America's fastest growing sport. It's probably Guam's fastest growing sport, but apparently they're receiving blowback from neighbors who are complaining about the constant smack, 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 saying it's too loud.
Oh, I love blowback, man.
Right? like Nissan is getting for hiring a guy with no boobies to show off their jogging bras. Blowback. Have you seen the pictures of the new Clydesdales? Very interesting picture. It's clean. I might put it up on the screen later. Denver just shut down some courts after finding the sound levels from pickleball surpassed 70 decibels above the city limit of 55. Turf wars between tennis players and pickleballers have devolved into shouting matches, and worse in San Diego, Atlanta, and New York. Manhattan's largest pickleball facility opens this week. 14 courts in Central Park that will stay open until October 9th in a very well-funded private effort. City Pickle at Woolman Rink. City Pickle is trying to bring the entertainment concept to urban pickleball with plans to open upscale courts in cities across the Northeast, Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, Toronto, D.C., where players can get lessons, hold parties, and nosh on tacos and margaritas. This is the wave of the future, ladies and gentlemen. If you thought having a homeless encampment in your neighborhood was bad, if you thought it was rough having a house up the street where they apparently never sleep in there because there's traffic there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never mind the game rooms in the villages. What's the big culprit? What is it that Sleepy Guam has to worry about now? The ingress of pickleball facilities around the corner. 9:51. Jack and I return after these.
Guam Regional Medical City was awarded Advanced Primary Stroke Center certification from the Joint Commission. What does this mean? It means our neuroscience team is equipped with the latest technology and a team of the finest neurological doctors to treat stroke, which is one of the leading causes of death on Guam. GRMC, reflecting our commitment to providing safe and quality patient care. For more information about GRMC, visit us at grmc.gu, or to make an appointment, call 671-633-GRMC.
Fly even higher and get to your destination with the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank. You can earn 40,000 miles with $2,000 worth of spending within the first 3 months. That's 40,000 reasons to get on board with the First Hawaiian Bank United Credit Card. It all starts with yes. Certain restrictions apply. To learn more about this offer, visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Well, this is interesting. There's a story in one of the newspapers talking about the what is it? Bus shelters in Tumon. Apparently, I mean, solar powered, right?
Really?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently there's lights that go on inside them. There's a whole thing.
Can we plug our phones in there?
I don't know if we got if we can do the phone pluggy thing in there. But I got an interesting message from somebody this morning who juxtaposes that. So down in Tumon, they've got these fancy kind of brushed aluminum, look like airplane, come on by and love Guam up bus shelters down there that are supposed to light up but don't. So we're going to spend $1 zillion fixing those. And then he writes and sent me a picture of it. He sent me a picture of this is what we've got in Jigo. This is the bus shelter in Jigo. and it's an old, like, 19... Wow. This is what bus shelters look like in the 1970s.
Yeah.
The old wooden bus shelter, it's three panels for the outside and a roof on the top in some place for the kids to sit. And I'm surprised they're still there because I would have seconded that for lumber about the day after DPW put the thing on the ground. And the question is wait a second, when did we go back to the old way of doing bus shelters? Didn't we decide, Jack, once upon a time that our children deserved, by virtue of being our children, that they deserve concrete bus shelters?
Raymond, I'm just, good morning, by the way. And,
Happy belated Easter.
Hallelujah. He is risen. And it's a good way to start the week. But concerning bus shelters, I'm just happy that if they be a safe distance away from the road. And like I told you before, on Hamburger Road, man, that bus shelter's just right there, less than 3 feet away from the road. And I don't know what anybody's thinking about, and whether or not they're going to, do something to limit the liability that might be coming out of there.
No.
But they're just taking for granted that cars travel slow there because it's flooded constantly. But one day, it's just an accident waiting to happen. And concerning the bus shelters down at Tumon, what else has GVB haven't done right? We should have turned that thing into an app a long time ago. You got a lot of people having business down there or holding jobs that do absolutely nothing, especially during the Wuhan virus fiasco. And we should have put that thing on an app a long time ago. And I told you that GVB had to do something to get with the program of holding spring training out here for baseball, for Japanese and Korean baseball. They didn't bother to do that. Now I checked the calendar for spring training. Both Japan and Korea are filled up till 2030. Spring training camp. So hey, good luck with that, GVB. Way to drop the ball on that one too. So I don't know. I was listening to you about pickleball. There's a nice pickleball indoor one. It's, I think, off of Bella Road. I don't know if you ever been to that one.
Oh, no, I thought that was not pickleball, the badminton.
Yeah, but I think the courts is the right dimension, or they can make it the right dimension.
Right, modify.
Well, yeah, because I do remember I went there and they had a pickleball match there. And to say whether it's tennis versus pickleball, the legendary John McEnroe is getting involved, and he's playing pickleball exhibition. I don't know if he's playing one or he did one already. And if you can criticize a game and still play it, and that's a win-win situation. So, I think, what's her name that came in and was promoting it during the
Ronnie Conley. Ronnie Conley.
Yeah. So, it's growing by leaps and bounds. And I think probably that's the next event that probably GVB needs to get their hand into to try to focus and try to concentrate on growing this tourism.
Bro, what do you think of Joe Coy? What are your thoughts on Joe Coy?
I pass, brother. I don't have that discretionary spending. I went to Easter brunch over at Jeff Pirates Cove.
I didn't see you. Did you see me?
I was there first seating, I guess. I was there real early.
Oh.
I wanted the ultralight cold. That's the first place my cousin and I went to. Everybody was sitting down waiting for the tables and stuff to open, or the buffet to open, and I just, I'm getting the beer. I'm not waiting. Just went there, grabbed the ultra, two servings each of ultra light, and I just chowed down on the gyros and the steak, and they had that potato salad and I guess it's yogurt. It was pretty good.
I loved everything I put in my mouth there.
Yeah, but I stay away from the stuff that I could usually get and just concentrate on stuff that I have a hard time eating or finding a cheap route to do it. So I just 3 gyros, pretty health tested size. Yeah, and 2 steaks rare for myself, potato salad, mahi kelaguen, and a lot of tomatoes.
And so I hope that people are listening going, wait a second, you mean I could have had all that at the Easter buffet over at Pirates Cove? The answer is yes, you could have. It was delightful, and as usual, Jeff has got just a Cracker Jack service out there. Not everybody at my table was eating the buffet, and normally that would have been a problem. But Jeff said, no, we're gonna have the girl. She's gonna take care of you. We'll take the orders at the table, and I thought that was terrific. A good time had by all. Jack, I got to run. I'll talk to you pretty soon. Maybe tomorrow.
All right, brother. Have a good day.
You know I will. KUSG, I got you on screen right now. The incredible Jeff from Pirates Cove just celebrated his 75th birthday with inviting everybody down to Pirates Cove for a great Easter celebration. Really was kind of terrific. And as usual, seeing people that oftentimes come up in the news stories that we've got around here. But it's always good to give somebody a hug and a kiss and welcome into a new season of almost spring and summertime here on Guam. Stand by now. It's time for Fox News. KUSG, I got you. 93.3. This is The Point.
Easter Sunday address in St. Peter's Square. Fox's Mike Tobin in Kyiv.